All right, let's see. All right, let's see if we can get this thing going. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. I think we are live. Holy smokes. It's always something around here. I'm not going to lie. What an interesting little thing to occur. So here is what happened. Please let me know somebody's watching down in the chat. I would appreciate that. I couldn't do ultra low latency on the chat either, which is kind of bad. So I'm going to be a little delayed more so than others. But I think AV is fabulous. Sure, I missed saying how they say, let's see, either this thing is really small or 5x5. Thank you, Mr. Landfill. That's what I was looking for. Okay, well, we are here. It is a Sunday. It is an hour earlier, which I'm sure that messed up my schedule as well and everything else. Here's just the short of it, guys. I have no earthly idea. I had the stream all set up, connected, and it was never pushing the data. It showed that it was connected. It showed it was connected here, but data wasn't pushing. It wasn't a network thing. It was a pure, probably YOLO box or user error, one of the two. So what I had to do was, and luckily I can do this quickly now. I've gotten really used to fixing my mistakes, that's for sure. Hold on just one second. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. Let me get rid of that. I know exactly why I'm hearing that echo, because I need to get rid of that. There we go. That's better. And so I had just created a whole new other stream. And so that's just a mess because people are going to be looking for it and they're not going to find it. I did keep the unlisted one still available. So if somebody hits that link and they go into that chat, thank you to those of you who posted that link in there for me. I couldn't find the link quickly. I'm trying to get everything going, and hopefully they'll bounce over and get over here. I mean, let's see, how many people did we lose? Let's see, we have 22 of you, so that's actually pretty good. We didn't lose many of you, so it's good to have you here. Thanks for joining me on a really weird Sunday, because the reason this is early is because a lovely accountant and I have a little event to go to tonight. And I was talking to her yesterday. I said, I'm really not going to have time to do a stream tomorrow because of our event. And she said, you need to do a stream. And I think she just wanted me out of the way for a while for whatever reason. That happens, right? But no, she said, why don't you go ahead and plan a stream? I say, yeah, I guess I could do it an hour early, because if I don't, I can't do one next weekend because we're going to be out of town for the Halloween holidays, so we would miss that. And typically I do a big Halloween kind of live stream, and I'm not going to get to that this year, which kind of bums me, honestly. So who knows, I might pull something out of my hat sometime over the weekend, say Halloween hello or something like that. So be on the lookout on the channel for that kind of stuff. But anyway, we are going to see, you ready? This is kind of good for Halloween, sort of Halloween-y. We're going to see Penn and Teller tonight. I don't know if anybody has seen Penn and Teller live. We have wanted to do this. We bought tickets, I think it was back in, it was February. She bought them for my birthday back in February. So we've been waiting all this time to get going. So, that's kind of the way it goes. So, you wait, and then it comes up and you go, oh, wow, that's going to interfere with my stream. Just kidding. I'm going to go see Penn and Teller. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to do a little dinner before. So that is why things are a little out of kilter. Just because I'm an hour earlier, I usually have a little extra time. So I'm not as prepared probably as I normally am. So this ought to be a lot of fun. Plus, we're trying something really different today. We are going to dive into something called the bare metal Commodore Emulator Interface Board. Right there. That's the subject of today's little stream. But before that, we're going to do all the things that we normally do. And before we get going, I do want to find out who was able to find their way over here into chat with me. So let's see. Now, technically, Mr. Landfill, and I'm going to put it in here. Oh, let me bring up my chat window over here. Technically, Mr. Landfill gets the gold star today because he was in this stream for the first time. Actually, I think it was Evil J on the other one, but so you both get gold stars because it's not your fault, right? So we have that. Mr. Landfill says, yes, you do have two streams queued up. Hopefully we figured that out. He tried to dish us and start here. Thank you, Evil J, for really recognizing the issue at hand here. I was trying to avoid each and every one of you in chat, all my retrocombians, so I could go over here and see if I could find some new retrocombians. That obviously is not the case, but just having a little fun with that. Thank you, Evil J. Very good. All good. Hey, PC Expert's here. Good to have you here, PC Expert. Good afternoon to you. Let's see. We got, Neil popped in. Neil, good to have you here. Hey, everyone. I seem to have found you. I'm glad you seem to have found me. I was worried that nobody was going to find me. So again, I need to make this window just a little bit smaller. There we go. Now I can see all my viewers and everything else. Let's see. I'm not getting notifications anymore. Just recommendations. That is odd. We want your notifications so that you can find out. You can find me wherever I am, right? Neil said, or Evil J says, Neil's here. Quick, everyone to the other stream. All right, now Evil J. Easy there. That's funny though. A bit of snafu going on at the moment. I think this is the right stream as the one has sound and countdown. Typically you can't, yes, if there's one with anything, that's probably the one I'm on. I'm assuming, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, you had nothing on the other stream, right? There was never any kind of video whatsoever, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the case. This is the correct one. That's right. Fancy seeing y'all here. I know, Jamie. Isn't that interesting how y'all just kind of popped in together? Glad to have you all here. I don't think I can paste links. Maybe Jamie can do. Oh, yes, that's right. I asked for that, and Jamie is our only executive producer online today. So maybe we don't have a link over there. I don't know, but I forgot all about that. Thanks, guys. I should have remembered that. So if you want to learn how to be an executive producer so that you can post links, just hang on. We'll talk about that at some point throughout the show today. Good morning, noon, eve, night, Retrocomians. Thank you for taking care of that for us. We appreciate that. Xander, let's see. Hello there. Early evening here because we've switched back. Oh, yeah, we do that, I think, in 2 weeks. So from summertime in our speech. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sounds like he's on it. Yeah, I tried to. Yep. Xander's trying to also figure out, I saw this in the other chat, Xander, why your name changed in YouTube. So there is a setting in your profile where you can set a specific, name, your handle. So that's what I've done for Retrocombs. Instead of being Steven.combs, which was the original account, it is Retrocombs for this account. So you can change that. Hopefully you can find it. If not, let me know. I'll see if I can find it and help direct you there. Hey, Lone Tech, good to have you here. I posted the link and it got slightly discarded. Yeah, sorry. YouTube's approach to moderation stinks as usual. Well, it's not YouTube's fault. It's mine. I have put those boundaries on there because early on when we were doing this, you can imagine the links we were getting. So that's my fault. And now I only have executive producers can post. And so it's worked out really well. One of our executive producers, Mislov, will not be able to be here. He already let us know that. Ed C here. Hey, Ed, good to have you. Electrical engineer, loves this channel. Looking forward to, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Good to have you here for the live stream. Pardon me. And I think this is going to be a project where we're going to need an electrical engineer as I'm reading through it, but we'll figure it out. Only mods can post. Exactly. Oh, I can't see it to get back to it. That's fine. We'll be fine. I'm sure everybody's over here. We'll get them over here. True Seeker, nice to meet you. Good day. Retrocon, see you did. Thank you so much. Lone Tech, yes, I'm not getting the links anymore, just recommendations to watch. The channels I watch. That is interesting. A change to the algorithms, do we think? We hear you typing. You could hear, yeah, trying to get everything. Pasted the link. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Jamie did eventually find it. Thank you. AV is fabulous. Sure. I miss saying howdy to some peeps. Howdy, y'all. Good for you. Thank you, Jamie, for doing that. Either this thing is really small or these are going to be huge joysticks. It is really interesting, Evil J. And I saw your other thing. Is this a C64 for ants? I think it's a C64 for mice. I think that's the proper size. But it's going to be interesting. And I'm taking it out of the bag. We're going to get the out-of-the-bag experience, which means disaster will ensue. Because one of the things I was researching is really interesting is you actually have to load the ROMs on there. It does not come with the ROM. Well, so we'll talk about all that. Let's see. All good. Fantastic. We are. Sounds good here. We're seeing you. I thought technology was supposed to get easier. Yes, I know. But I think what has happened is I have overcomplicated it. You know, your username has changed too. Yours is now AA7AE. That's not what I'm used to seeing. What is going on? That's interesting. PC Expert is watching. So that song, Who's Watching Me? We all know now. It's PC Expert. A little Halloween humor for you there. See, I still injected some Halloween into the stream. And if anybody can... Who gets the star for the first person who can name that artist watching me? Who sang that song? And extra star if you can tell me who the background singer was in that song. All right, there you go. There's a little Halloween test for you. Who sang the song? Who's watching me? And who is the background singer? 2 stars are available. Pick one, only one. Let somebody else have an opportunity. Hi there. It's all, hey, go tick YT. Go tick witty. Go tick. Go to YouTube. All right. Hey, good to have you here. This is your first time on my stream. It's really great to have you here. Hopefully you'll be a regular at some point, but hopefully you'll find some fun here today, just hanging out with us. This is, for those of you who are new, this is just like it's like a users group, computer users group, where we hang out, talk and chat, and then we always have a project. We talk a little news, which we're going to do here in a minute, and then a few things that I kind of acquired over time. So it's just a fun time just to hang out. Echo is still here. Cam mic open. Are you still getting the echo? We shouldn't have an echo. Let me see what's going on. Anybody else getting an echo? I've seen Penn and Teller. It's great. You'll love it. Oh, great. Thanks, Evil J. Let me just make sure. And I am seeing an echo. What about that? That should be better. Apologies. Somebody should have told me about the echo. Yeah, man. But there was a little echo there. Hopefully, oh man, that was on there for a long time, I think, too. Let me just clear that, and yes, sounds better now. No echo for me. Thank you, Mr. Landfill. Yeah, it should be good now. Apologies. Again, just me. Let's see. Oh, Xander. Very nice. Xander, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's make the stream great again. I love it, Xander. Thank you for that. Making streams great again. Yes, that's me. That's what I do over here. So thank you for that, and for the super chat. Always appreciate you, Xander, doing that. And if you'd like to leave a super chat, you can do that in chat, and then you can leave a little extra comment that gets a little extra highlight for me if you want to do that. Would love to have you do that. Again, Evil J says, I've seen Penn and Teller. You'll love it. I am looking forward. I've seen him on TV, but I've never seen him live, so I think it'll be good. So cool. Enjoy. Evil J, let's see. Good to read. Echo went for you. Don't have more than one window open, but it's only me. Oh, that's interesting. I did find a reason where you could have had echo. Not gonna lie, I did find that. You're correct. Only stream has the title card. The stream was updated as we were going along, so I think we have all the stuff in there now. All the links and everything that I'm going to be talking about during this live stream should be down there as well. I think I got all those transferred. That's what I was doing frantically in that 5-minute window that I had going. Yeah, Google has changed our handles for some reason. That's what I thought. It is very odd. It hasn't changed my handle, I don't think, but it sounds like it's changed some of yours. Maybe if you don't have an active channel, it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe you have to have video now on your channel for it to save your handle. Just wondering. Maxwell. Nope, not Maxwell. MJ background. Michael Jackson in background. Yep, Jamie got it actually kind of technically first, Evil J. He said MJ. MJ could be anybody, you know, but we're going to give it to him. And then, of course, yes, Wonder Dog got it for Rockwell. Wonder Dog, your handle has changed too, if I'm not mistaken. So interesting. Yes, Rockwell and MJ. It is a great song. I didn't like it really that much back in the day, but it has turned out to be a great song. I was so funny. I play maybe TMI for all of you, but I love to play music while I'm in the shower. And that song came on, and as you know, one of the lyrics in that is, you know, he's afraid to come out of the shower or to turn around because he'll find someone standing there. So yeah, very cool. Rockwell, no echo for me. Echo gone. Good. Up to level. You guys are chatty today. I love it. It's like you're in a big empty, some kind of echo now. It's gone. Okay, good. Maybe I need to rejoin for it to show. Yeah, probably you may just need to refresh. Yeah, refresh should take care of it. Yeah, it's weird. Handle has changed. Yeah, everybody's handles are changing. We need to get a handle on that. Like what I did there. We need to get a handle on the handles. There we go. Added some numbers from the looks of it. Yeah, that just seems odd. So we will get there. We'll figure that out and get there. So that is kind of letting you know who's in the chat room. Keep the chats going, and we'll be coming back and checking on it. We've got about 27 viewers today. That's not bad for a stream that was broken, moved, changed. Very little advertising of the stream, so thank you. I am wearing the Commodore 64 shirt today because we will be looking at a Commodore 64 type-ish project. Let's do this. Let's roll into our Why is that changed? Now see, that's changed. This is just ridiculous. Let's roll into our gear. Here we go. See, I've got buttons for lower third, so I have gear. We're going to talk about some things that I've acquired over the last couple of days. Since the last live stream, let me move my... oh, by the way, one of the things I acquired was a Pixel Fold. Oh, my goodness, folks. I've never had a fold phone before, but I got to tell you, I am digging it. I am digging it. As a matter of fact, I did a video over on my RetroCombs-Check channel. RetroCombs-Tech, not check, RetroCombs-Tech channel on this little guy. And I really like it. It is super duper. As a matter of fact, I had it here just a minute ago, and I can kind of show you in this configuration sitting on the desk so I would have the time and know how long I was taking to get online and stopping you all. So it's really cool the things that you can do when you have a fold phone. Anyway, just thought that was kind of cool and it just happened to be there. So that is something I acquired. We also have, let's see, let me go to our desk. Here we go. These are all the things that we're going to be using for the stream, but we do have the latest Computes Gazette. I am, unfortunately, a couple of issues behind now. So this one's just sitting here, but I thought we should talk about it because this is the special spooktacular issue. And since this is sort of not really a Halloween stream, I should have had some music and stuff going on. I just didn't have, I'm sorry, I just did not even think I was doing one, but we'll make it as Halloween-y as we can. Oh, look, it's got a scary picture on there too. But this is the latest Computes Gazette. And typically when we get it, we like to kind of take a look and see what Computes Gazette is doing. I do enjoy this magazine. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about doing just a little short video review of Computes Gazette. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully I'll get to that. That may be something I'm doing while I'm traveling, actually. And it says the GEOS column is back. Very interesting. We're going to debugging a ghost. That's cool. The Dedelson source code. Very interesting. Plus Halloween type-ins and more. I love that they are sticking to the holidays on their time frame. That's really cool. Let's see what else we have inside here. Again, very holiday-y-ish. Here's that. Well, let me just put this down. Let me move my joystick here. Now, for those of you new to the channel, we don't go through every page and I read Computes Gazette. We just give you a little smattering of what's inside as I've opened it for the first time. I love the, we got a little glare there. There you go. Love the contents. Got our little jack-o'-lanterns up here. We've got our Commodore ad here. How many of you, tell me now in chat, how many of you have one of these coming? Don't care which version, Starlight Founders or was it traditional or whatever. Let me know. I actually have two of them coming. I have the Founders Edition and I have the beige one coming. So I don't know if they'll get delivered at the same time because they were ordered differently. One of them is a gift. So I'm looking forward to gifting that to someone. Over here is our Computes Gazette contents as we talked about. Let's see, we have Debugging a Ghost, Beyond the Forbidden Force. So very kind of Halloween focused issue. I like it. I'm really enjoying the editor's notes and letters to the editors. It's one of my favorite features of the old Computes Gazette was to read the letters and read the questions that people had. I like that probably more than anything else in there. So I'm really enjoyed that they brought those back. You can see we've got some Today in Retro History, got a little Back to the Future kind of feel going. Coming soon, here's a new website, CBM stuff. I think what we're going to find is, and I would say this too, the other thing I really loved about these magazines were the ads. Just you could find out so many weird things and wonderful software that people had available selling out of a retail space in California or somewhere, and you could learn about it. And so I'm hopeful that this magazine will become a resource where we learn a lot about those new products that are available. CBM stuff. Look at this. See you all at Blingboard 64, Schaumburg, Illinois. There you go. Somebody's going there. Oh, this is old. This is September. So that was, that's already gone. That's kind of bad. And then you can see here. So let's see if we have anything just kind of, oh, what's this? Commodore Corner, like that. Oh, this is, you know, the thing I'm also finding with Computes Gazette is it is getting better every stinking issue. Not gonna lie, it keeps getting better. Look at this, more ads in here. Again, normally I'd say I don't like ads, but I want to see more ads. That means that more people are creating new products for our favorite computers, our favorite retro computers. And again, there's quite a few. Oh, here's some kind of Halloween type software, maybe? No, just their general. Oh no, Scare Waves. Yes, it is Halloween or horror themed. Here's creating art with koalas. Very cool. What else do we have? I got the podcast corner. Look at that. There is Randy Kendig on the Floppy Days podcast. He's got an article in here. He's done a lot. It looks like the author is Brian P. Cox, the owner of Future Vision Research. So he has done an article on the podcast. Very cool. Some assembly required. They have started doing and I'm looking forward to getting caught up because I do want to look at this. They do have a series on assembly. So if you're interested in that, Berkeley Softworks. What? There it is. The GEOS column. I'm excited for that. That is going to be a lot of fun. I'm interested to see what they actually talk about. Here's the Atari Outpost. So you get some Atari, some FujiNet. I do have a FujiNet. FujiNet will be the topic of a future live stream, as a matter of fact. A lot of things I got at Computer Finish Festival Midwest was chosen because I was looking for stuff for live streams for us. By the way, if you have recommendations for things you'd like to see in a live stream, don't put those in chat because they'll go away. Bounce down there, go to the comments, and put that in the comments. Say, hey, I'd like to see this because I need because I won't ever find them again. And I do have a pen and paper. I guess I can find them and write them down. But put those in the comments for me. But again, some more ads here that I'm digging. All right, here we go. Here's the Mega 65 corner. This is good. This is Fun with Petsky. This is by Dan. Dan has his own newsletter that he posts as well. And most of the time, this is just another version of that. But I'm glad to see that he's getting broad distribution of his content because it is really good stuff if you're into the Mega 65. Oh, look at this. Hero is back. All right, so there you go. There is a quick look at what you get. Highly, folks, highly recommend you subscribe to either the digital or the paper version. I'm always going to stick to paper. As a matter of fact, this week, I'm going to see if I get caught up on issue 3 so I can take this with me next week when we're traveling for Halloween because it just seems perfect for Halloween. So curious about your thoughts in chat. We'll come back to that in just a minute. And then I want to show you one more thing I found. And I actually posted this in the Discord. And if you're not sure how or where my Discord is, just hang in there. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I have, let's bring up our, let's do our close-up view. I created a new view for you. I got a close-up view here. How about that? Ooh, new view for you guys, just for you guys. I created it just for you. We have the new view. This is, check it out. I found this. So some of you may know, you find these in strip malls, disc replays. I think it's a regional thing. I don't know that it's national, but they have old DVDs, Blu-rays, games, and I always just pop into these places to see if they have anything retro. And many times they'll have plenty of Atari 2600 cartridges. Occasionally you'll find some retro computer stuff. And I went to the very back, way back into a corner in one of their cases, and this was there. And I looked and I went, is that what I think that is? Yes, this is a Commodore 64 CPM cartridge. Now, I did not pay $60 for it. They had a special going on, $10 off if you spent $50 or more. So I got it for $49.97, basically. I don't know if it works, but this thing does not look like it's even been used. And let's face it, many of these cartridges were rarely used. People bought them more out of curiosity, thought they were going to use CPM, and they didn't work. So my goal with this is, well, I'll tell you what, we've got the, should we take the shrink wrap app off? I'm going to ask you, I'll give you a second. Shrink wrap on, or should we take it off for the channel? I'm happy to take it off for the channel. What do you guys think? I will give you a second to respond in chat. Let me check. Let me pull up my chat over here. Michigan has a disc replay. Good to know. Yeah, like I said, I think those are kind of regional. You know, I need to move my head. Let me change my head so it is not over the chat. Let me edit this. I can do this pretty quickly. We'll put that up here. There we go. I should have realized that would be on chat. There we go. Fix that. That's one of the things I do love about the YOLO box. I can make those quick changes. So nobody said I'm taking the shrink wrap off. It's coming off. It's coming off, guys. We are taking it off just for you. Maybe. It does seem like it's in really good shape. Now, the kicker on this thing, though, is off. Thank you. Arnolda. Hey, good to have you here. I think this is your first, believe this is your first live stream with us. Oh, no, it's not. Your name has changed because I know that picture. So again, handles have changed. That's it. Now I don't know anybody in chat. This is not good for me. So here we go. You say it's in really, if I can get, there we go. It's in pretty good shape. We got a little dirt here, but the cartridge itself looks like it's in pretty good shape in there. Not too dirty. It still looks pretty gold on both sides. It's got made in Hong Kong. So this one was made in Hong Kong. That's interesting. And then we've got our two screws right here. You know what? I kind of want to see. Let's see. There we go. Let's see if we can take a look inside. Was not planning this live, but why not, huh? Let's see what the CPM cartridge looks like on the inside. We should find a Z80 processor, right? Isn't that what we're... This thing has never been open, I can already tell. All right, let's see what we have. We're going to take these screws here, make sure we don't lose those. There's the screws that come in there. See that there? So we'll move this. All right, let's take a look at it. Actually, maybe we're not. Oh, wow. I took the screws out, but it is not opening. Probably, oh, it's got a couple of clips there. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I am not going to open it because I need a couple of spudgers. I need to get a spudger and I don't have that handy. I'm afraid I'm going to break it if I don't. So, sorry, I got you all excited about opening up a CPM cartridge and we're not doing it. So, but I will endeavor to get that done at some point and give you some pictures. We will probably, once I get it running, also thinking that this would be a really cool feature of a live stream as well. So if you think that that would be something we're interested in, also post down in the comments and let me know, hey, retro combs, that could be kind of fun. Now the problem is it doesn't work on every Commodore either. There's some issues. It won't work on a Commodore C64C is what I've read. And it requires really the early Commodores. And I have one. I'm not sure it's early enough, but I also want to check and see if it will run on the new Ultimate C64 Ultimate and the Mega 65 C64 core, because they're supposed to be compatible with 99% of everything. So there you go. There's that piece right there. All right. So those, my folks, are the acquisitions for the day. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I have not told you yet, the drink for the day is, this is, of course, an L8, but it is, you ready? Last time it was the Pawpaw. This time it is the Blackberry L81. By the way, they're getting ready, I think I've mentioned this, they're getting ready to come up on their 100th anniversary next year. It sounds like I need to make a pilgrimage to Winchester, Kentucky, which is where this is brewed and bottled. Oh, that's good. All right, let's see. Let's get caught up on chat, and then we'll come in and we're going to talk about the news a little bit today. See what's going on. The CPM shrink wrap looks contemporary. Yeah, it is, Dan. They at those shops, they just put them in those shrink wraps just to protect them and do that. So absolutely. Good to have you here, Dan. We were just looking at your article in Compute's Gazette if you missed it. I responded with 2 wide YouTube movies on Discord. Oh, okay, good. Excellent. Xander is in our Discord. Exactly. It doesn't work on, yeah, there we go. He as well. So everybody's going, talking about their name changes, their handle changes. Let's see. This is Lone Tech Nifty, some asymmetric 8-bit multi-processing. I know, isn't that cool? I'm going to try it out. Xander says there is a Z80 processor inside, which I anticipated. Should have a Z80 with some logic to switch which CPUs run. And I'll take, again, before we use it, I'll dive in, do a little more technical deep dive and learn more about it, but it does look really cool. No, get out of here. I used to use WordStar on CPM, but did you use WordStar? Yeah, I use WordStar on CPM, but did you use it on the C64? Is it available on the C64 and in an 80 column? I guess it would be an 80 column mode because the Nabu has a version of WordStar that runs under 80 column. It's kind of bad, actually. You really need 80 columns. Pictures at page table. Good, I'll take a look at that. Why does YouTube allow advertisers to leave garbage on the screen and cut half of the chat off? Really? Is that what you're experiencing right now? That's not good. I'm sorry about that. I don't want you to have that experience. I had a CPM on my Amstrad. At school, we would use it for WordStar, yep, and Dr. Logo, and I learned a little programming, but that was about it. CPM was practically dead. By the mid-'80s, it had started its downward fall for sure. Mr. Lantac, they practically trick you into it for the same reason as network visible loot boxes. Y'all are conspiracy guys today. Try disabling reactions. There you go. Yep, that might work. Okay, so you all are helping him and them, but somehow I like CPM. Actually, I just booted it up on my flat 128 yesterday. Wow, good for you. Yeah, the last time I played with it was on the Nabu. They've got a really great version on the Nabu, but I have not fired up my Nabu and it's been months, guys. And as a matter of fact, Jamie and I were walking through Vintage Computer Festival Midwest, and I said, oh, look at the Nabus. And I haven't touched mine in months. And there's really, there was that whole excitement for a while, and it just kind of died down. And I knew I got caught up in it, but it is sitting right there. I can see it. I can see it where I'm sitting right now. So, all right. The other thing we like to do, we do like to talk about the news, and I have a thing for that. So here we go. Boom. Let's go to talk about the news. So I've got a couple of things here. And I didn't get my note. There they are, my notes. We're going to talk about what's going on in the retro computing world, kind of the latest news since the last time I was on the stream. Some of it is a little update from the last things that we talked about. First thing, this is big, guys. This is they announced the A1200 would be released for pre-orders on 10 November. Mark your calendars, put it in your calendars, put your reminders. I know Mislav probably already has done that. He's not here, but he's my biggest Amiga fan on the channel. Most of you know I tend to focus on 8-bit. I don't do a lot of Amiga stuff. I've done a smattering here and there, but I mainly focus on 8-bit stuff. But let's face it, the Amiga was near and dear to many of our hearts because that was the next transition. Typically for most of us, it was the transition between our 8-bit machines and our PCs. Was that Amiga, were those Amiga years? I know it was for me. If you had a different experience, put that in chat and let me know. But really looking forward to this because the A1200 has a full working keyboard. So that is going to be very, very cool. Let's see, the features are a full-size working keyboard, 25 classic carousel games. Be interesting to see what those games are, although there is a video that just dropped that gives you a smattering of what those are going to look like. So take a look at that. You can play the games you own via USB stick. Now, this is interesting. It has integrated Workbench desktop. So unlike the A500 Mini, which only played games, looks like we're getting Workbench on this with our mouse. So the A1200 will give you a full Workbench. It's going to be interesting to see how they implement that and what we can do with it, which version it is. I don't think we've received information about that, but that's kind of interesting. We're also going to get a multi-region HDMI video. We're also going to get the classic mouse and game controller, which I have. It comes with the A500 Mini. I have one over there. So the things I'm really excited about, though, are that full working keyboard and Workbench. I showed you in another live stream how you can hack your A500 Mini to include a Workbench along with basically every software ever made for the silly thing. So if you're interested in that, check out my past live streams. You can go and we just spent a whole afternoon looking at that. Well, here we won't have to hack it. The integrated Workbench will just be live for us. But I guarantee this thing is going to be super hackable and people are going to be digging into this, finding out how they can push it. So that's the A1200 Mini. If you're interested in that, have other information, put that in chat. We'll come back to that here in a little bit and we will talk about it. Also up, did anybody see this or did this fall under the radar? I think this fell under a lot of people's radars. This is the Intellivision Sprint. Back in the day, the Atari 2600 was the game system that most of us got. The one that everybody wanted was the Intellivision. And I say that because it had this great set suite of games. It had this really cool controller where you could do these slide-in panels. I had a couple of friends who had them and I was always jealous that they had the Intellivision. I love my Atari 2600, don't get me wrong, but I always wanted an Intellivision. Never had one. If you had an Intellivision, put that in the chat. We'll come back and talk about that in a minute. But guess what, guys? I am now going to own an Intellivision. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. I used your money. Yes, and I say your money because you all support the channel and everything that you give me, I try and reinvest back into the channel. And this seemed like something that we would have a lot of fun with. This will be a future live stream. We will unbox it live, plug it in, play the games, check out the cards, check out the quality. We'll do all of that during a live stream. So as soon as it gets here, I will let you know and we will go live. I'll try and, as a matter of fact, that could be one of those where you're not expecting me to be live and then all of a sudden one night, boom, I'm live. So get those alerts down there. So I'm looking forward to this, again, playing this. The nice thing is it does have 45 built-in games and you can bring your own games on USB. Now, the problem with bringing your own games via USB is you don't have the little slide-in cards. So I'm excited about the 45 we're getting because we should have all 45 cards. Well, not every game required a card, but we should have all cards that we need. So really excited about that. So let me know if you're excited about that at all. Again, this just speaks to how old have I been? Been about 8 or 9. No, I guess about 10. About the 10-year-old in me. No, it'd been just a little bit long. 12. Yeah, there we go. Oh, had to think about that. The 12-year-old me who just got his first Atari 2600 and others down the road had the Intellivision. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Honestly, looking forward to some really retro gaming with this thing and trying out that gamepad. Really excited about that. Now, this next one is something called Quick Spot. And I wanted to share this with you. This is for my hardware geeks out there. And this is a little bit even beyond me. This isn't necessarily something that I would dig into. But this is the Walter-based Commodore 64 multi-radio modem. When I saw this, I immediately thought of Jamie. Jamie and I are talking about some LoRa stuff. By the way, I actually ordered some LoRa equipment, Jamie. I haven't told you about that. More on that later. We'll be talking about that in a future podcast, in a future stream or YouTube video. But I do have some LoRa equipment coming in, not for the C64, just general LoRa equipment. But I saw this and immediately thought of Jamie. And this is the GitHub for it. And what it does, and I'll bring your attention down here to the hardware. The hardware is based on the Quick Spot Walter, which I was not familiar with. It's a module which combines multiple radio technologies in a single module. It gives the C64 multi-radio modem access to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, LTE, which I thought was interesting, and GNSS. The module is powered through its USB-C power connector, which is also used to program it. So that's nice that it's doing both things. The connection to the C64 is made through the UART. So coming in a little bit differently, and that's available on your user port, of course. So I have no earthly idea what I would do with this thing. I think there's going to be a whole host of people who are going to look at this, get really excited about it, and go, yeah, I need this, but I don't know why I need this. Jamie, if you can tell me why I need this, please put that in chat. I'd love to know that. So, but that was just recently released. I think it was 4 days ago. Let's see. Last week was the last commit, but I think it came live just about 2 weeks ago. So again, trying to bring you the latest news in this live stream. Now this one is fun. I thought I'd go ahead and share this one with you. This is a game called Halloween X by 8080. This is for the Commodore Amiga. Now again, I rarely do stuff for the Amiga, but I thought since it was Halloween, it's Commodore related, I would share this one. And it is a completed dungeon crawler where players navigate a monster-filled labyrinth to collect 3 gold keys and escape before time runs out. Sure sounds like adventure to me on the Atari 2600 with Amiga graphics. But I did think it was kind of cool. Let's see if I can pull up just a little gameplay for you here. Here we go. Now I don't think you're hearing sound because I've not piped in sound. Yeah, I don't have the sound piped in. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I can from my computer. Let's see. I did that during the last stream. Let's see if I can still have that connection here. No, I am not hearing it. Let me know if you're hearing it, but I do not believe you are hearing it either. Oh, I know what I need to do. Hold on. I think I know what I need to do. All right, well, you get the gist. You can kind of see what's going on. So let me go ahead and get out of this right here. Now I can't see my screen, so let's see if I can get back to, I think it's right. There we go. All right, there we go. Let me just check something really quickly here, guys. Let's see. There it is. It's up there. I don't know why it was up there. Let me bring it down here. Let's see if I can pull this, and let's put this on our, is it here? Virtual? Let's see if that puts our sound back in here. That does not. Okay, I'll need to figure that out. I had it at some point working, and I just have not connected it lately. So let's see. Here goes to. I'm trying to track my audio streams here. Let's see. Man, that's work. That's not it. That's AirPlay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to figure it out right now. I did make some changes, so we'll just leave it as is. So anyway, there you go. There is Halloween X for the Amiga. So there you go. If you're interested in that game, that is available. This other one is another game. Now, this one is interesting in that this is called Orbix. This is by Fleischgemüse, and he's launched Orbix for the Commodore 64. But here's what's really interesting about it. It is released for the C64, but look at this. Let me blow that up for you. It's added C128 turbo mode support, so the speed will be doubled on a C128. So he's brought over the speed for the 128 processor over to C64 game. Not many people do that. I just think that's really unique. It's good to see somebody supporting a 128. So if you have a Commodore 128, this is a game you can download and take advantage of that extra speed. So really like that. I think that's pretty cool. The game itself looks pretty cool. Let me go ahead and bring up a little demo here for you. Again, we're not going to have the sound, unfortunately, but I want you to see kind of what it looks like. It is really a good looking game. It's got this great intro. This is one I'm going to download at some point and play, and then the graphics just are really sweet. Check this out. So that is Orbix. If you're interested in a Commodore 64 game or a game that really takes advantage of the 128, you now have an option, which I think is good. And then keeping on that Halloween theme, I have one more for you. We have Pumpkin. Pumpkin is basically Pac-Man with pumpkins. And I think this is really cool. This is a name your own price game, but it'd be great for your kids. Set it up on your computer. It'd be great when that Commodore 64 Ultimate shows up for next Halloween. You want to have a game available, so mark this down and have this one available where they can play Pac-Man with pumpkins. I just think that is, maybe it's been done before, but I just think for the Halloween season, it is the perfect blend of your favorite retro computer, your favorite game, and Halloween. So check that out. Let's see this one. Oh, wait, wait a minute. I could be wrong. Is this... Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. This is not for the Commodore 64. This is for the Amiga. Apologies, folks. I messed that one up. I had my notes wrong. This one is for the Amiga. So sorry about that. Messed that one up. I don't know. And there you go. Yeah, that does look more Amiga, doesn't it? You couldn't pull that off on a Commodore. Apologies. That is an Amiga game. So we'll have to wait on that. All right. Speaking of, though, of the Commodore Ultimate, let's come over here. Let's talk about this. So this is a great article. And by the way, all of these links that I've shared today, these are all down in the video description. So be sure and take a look at those. If you want to go in and take a deeper dive into any of this, need to download the software for your Amiga or Commodore 64. It's all down in the video description, which is why I want to get everything copied from that link that wasn't working over there. So you can go and take a read at this. This is the Commodore 64 Revival, Nostalgia, Innovation, and Red Flags. This article is pretty good because it goes in and digs in a little bit more into some of those other Commodore license and patents that Perry Frantic has not yet grabbed. So still more work to do. Of course, we knew the Amiga was not included as part of the deal, but we do have some Italian folks in an Italian business that's still claiming that they have rights to the Commodore brand. So this is a good article to read so that you know the full story. I assume this is accurate. It does not appear to be AI. I was wondering if it was AI written, and maybe it is. Maybe we're just getting so good, but it does seem to be a good article for y'all to take a look at if you're interested in some of the legal things that the new Commodore is having to deal with. And this was posted on the 23rd, so it's really, really recent. And speaking of that, hopefully you all had a chance to see the last video from Perry Frantic. As you know, that's just my nickname for him. I like to call him. He loves to butcher people's names, so I thought my butchered name for him will be Perry Frantic instead of Perry Fractic. So this is a great article. See how the new Commodore 64 is being brought back to life. He did post an article where he is, and I talked about this last time, where he's in the factory. He called it the Commodore factory. We know it's not really the Commodore factory. It's a factory producing Commodore products. I'm sure they produce many other things. It is in China. But it was a really interesting video, and I'm not diminishing the work at all. He wanted it to feel like it was a Commodore factory. And when I think Commodore factory, I think Westchester, Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, that's right. And I know they were all around the world at the time, but I talked about that during the last stream. I'll shut up. But this is really good. This is a great article. Take a look at this. It talks about, again, how he recreated, or how this, not just he, but how the team, he really didn't do that, did he? Somebody else did that who created the board, but how they brought the FPGAs to bear to create the new Commodore. So really cool. And it's links to that factory tour here so that you can take a look at that. So again, that is in there. Just a couple more things. And I'll be coming and checking in on chat on you one more time. This is really kind of cool. This is the Vice snapshot to PRG. So this was just out of the blue. This one popped up. This one was launched 4 days ago. And what it does, it's a utility that converts Vice emulator snapshots to bootable.prg files so that you can transfer from Vice with that snapshot, take it over to your physical computer, and launch from exactly that point. I just think that's pretty interesting and cool, and I could see this being integrated into other things like our Ultimate cartridges, or maybe Super Snapshot. I don't know how that works, but just some of the cartridges that we have that do these things. So if you want to take a look at that, but you can download this software now and use it. Looks like it's Windows, Linux, and Mac. And go in, play in Vice, save that state of that program wherever you are, and then take it over to your physical computer and launch that .brg file, probably using something like, this would work out well with it, the Kung Fu Flash, right? So you can put a PRG file on the Kung Fu Flash and fire it right up. So, and it'd be easy to transfer because you could just take that SD card and transfer it right over. So there you go. I just, again, doing some research for you all, trying to find the coolest and latest things, and I thought that was pretty sweet. All right, let's go back, and one more thing that I want to talk about. Last news item. As a matter of fact, since it is the last one, let's go ahead and, last news. All right, keep forgetting to put my lower third up there occasionally. We have the World of Commodore 2025 coming up at Mississauga, Ontario. This is up there at the Admiral Inn, which is where it is every year. And a couple of years ago, Jamie and I made the trek up there. We took the car, went up there, drove up there. It started raining, sleeting, and snowing on us, which was fun. I felt like I was in Canada. And we had a really good time during our time there. And I just wanted to announce it. If anybody can go this year to World of Commodore, it's a recommended show. I do enjoy it. RJ Michael was at the last one when we were there. I did not get a chance to go last year. Would love to go again. I don't think I can pull it off this year. But I'm sure there will be a lot of interesting activity at the World of Commodore by TBug, Toronto Pet Users Group. By the way, they have, and I should have probably done a separate news item for this, they've re-released their TBug magazine. So go take a look at that, and that's on their website. So a lot of cool stuff going on. And again, it, my friends, is just a great time to be a retro computing enthusiast. I mean, there's as much news now as I feel like there was back in the 80s when we were first getting our computers. So very, very cool stuff. Let's go ahead and check in on chat, see how you all are doing, and then we're going to dive in to our project. If I can close this window. Hey, you. Yeah, well, we'll just do it that way. There we go. Let me make sure chat is over here and then chat. So let's go ahead and check in, see how you guys are doing in chat. I got to scroll up. It looks like you guys have been busy. Let's see. I used WordStar on the C12880 column. Now that would be the way to do it. And of course, as we know, C128 had CP/M built in, which is really cool. Just nobody ever used that to great effect. I love that. Let's see, a CPC 128. Okay, I'm not familiar with that line at all. Yes, Amstrad CPC 6128 came with a CP/M system discs. That's pretty cool. Still has that machine today. I had one, but the only time I used CP/M command was to launch Shadow of the Beast from disk. Well, at least you use the command for something, and that's a good way to use it. I'm very excited for the 1200. Going to buy two. Oh, wow. One as is and another one to replace the circuitry with a Mr. FPGA to run all the classic 8/16-bit micros. Very interesting. So you're assuming that you're going to be able to hack that keyboard, right? And I think that would be really cool. That would be that's a great idea. I don't think we know how much they are yet, right? Do we know how much they're going to cost us? What's it going to set us back? It ain't going to be cheap, folks. Those are not going to be cheap. Okay, I'm old like dirt. Same here, Mr. Landfill. Where are chat options? Okay, you guys are going to continue to work that out. Never got a C64. My parents got me the Amstrad. They wanted me to have the same machine that my school used. Yeah, that's smart. Unfortunately, I had nobody to swap games with. Yeah, because everybody else had the C64, right? Yeah, I know. Just saw the Intellivision ad the other day. Did it spark your interest? That's the question I have. The add-on box I got for my CD32 is supposed to let it become an A. I did not know that. Oh, yeah, they did have an add-on box. I was getting ready to say I didn't know they had one, but I do remember that now. The Mr. has a good Intellivision core. Yeah, but so how do you play the games? I want, again, with all these Mr. cores, you really need the actual physical controllers. That's what appeals to me. So on the Intellivision, as a matter of fact, you can get Intellivision games for the new 2600 Plus as a cartridge, but you have to use like a little on-screen keyboard with your mouse for all that to work. I want to play it like I would have played it back in the day. So that's why I'm interested. Yes, there you go. Exactly what I just said, Neil. Thank you. I grew up with Intellivision at my uncle's house on weekends and eventually got my own and wish you still had it too. My flashback Intellivision will have to, was there, I did not know there was a flashback version. I guess I just skipped over that, Jamie. Never had one, but wasn't that Smurf was pop? Oh, you know that maybe the Smurf game was what kind of launched it. I have an Intellivision flashback, but the stupid thing failed, and I got another one, and it also failed. Oh, that's not good. Jamie has one that's working. Maybe you guys can figure something out. Yeah, let me know when it comes in. Let's test about work fine between. Yeah, it should work. Yeah, we're talking about Laura here. Those are Internet of Things LTE variants, I think. Thank you for that. See, I knew an engineer would come in handy during this stream. I paid $100 for the Intellivision Rebirth around 4 years ago and never received it. Oh, that's bad. I hope this one happens. I would love to have one. I had the Sears version of it. Yeah, they did a Sears version of the Intellivision too, didn't they? I had forgotten about that until you said that. Very interesting. A chat client with Jamie with this Commodore. Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're still kind of chatting about that. It is another add-on for the C64. That is a reason enough to get it. I need it. That's right. Anything you need, you got to go out. Looks like you have to buy it and build it though. So you will have to do a little work. One of my favorite games in Intellivision was Dungeons and Dragons Treasure of Tarman. I think that might be one of the ones included. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's true. That may be fun if I can run on an emulator for Halloween Extra Life. Oh, that would be good, Jamie. Yeah, Jamie, if you want to get everybody excited about Extra Life stream, please do that. Feel free to put that chat in here. If you all don't know, Jamie streams for charity for a children's hospital. And it's a children's hospital that my son spent many hours in, so I can get behind it. So if you guys want to support Jamie and what he's doing, oh, you can hear it. I think you heard it because of the microphone from off of my Mac, so good. And you echo, we can hear it, and you were, yeah, because when I turned that on, I was echoing. I don't think I'm echoing now, though, right? Oh, no, did I mess this up again? No, I shouldn't be echoing now. Oh, wait, might be fixed now. Okay, as soon as I get all excited. Nope, can't hear it now. 2 links are labeled with the same revival title, though. Really? I don't know. That's interesting. Mega 65 transfer is sometimes even easier. Push over Ethernet. Yes. Mega 65 transfers are easier over Ethernet. I believe that. The snapshot could be fun for games that don't have a save option. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about that too, right? Or you just want to continue on with your real hardware. Right? I don't know. Maybe you got some way to capture it differently. I don't know. Hey, y'all, we'll be way good. We have our other executive producers popped in. Ms. Love, we've talked a lot of Amiga. You've missed a lot of Amiga's talk here lately, but good to have you here. Of course, work pulls me away for the last 25 minutes after having no issue. Of course it does. That's the way that's why work is called work, right? Yes, there you go. There's the announcement. I think I also have that I think that's the same one I have in the video description too. So check that out. Already pledged for the next KS3, can't wait to get the ultimate. I also have the next KS3, just the board though, because I had the KS2, so I ordered just the board. But the cool thing about pledging with the board, as I've said in past live streams, is you get everything that you did the other way. So that's really fun. Let's see, 150. Oh, 150. Really? That 190 and so 199 and 150 is what we're going to be paying. So $200 for the A1200. That's not bad. I mean, it's probably only about $50 worth of product in there, honestly, with the CPU and everything they have. But they did have to build the case, create the molds, the keyboard alone. So there you go. So $199. So it's the same price as a 500 plus. 500 plus. Raspberry Pi 500 plus is what I mean. Okay, which by the way, we talked about in last live stream. So if you missed that, go check that out. That was fun. There you go, around 100, 200 euro. Hello, Marsum. Good to have you here. Marsum's handle has changed as well. The games list for the new Intellivision Sprint Go does not show. Oh, bummer. That would have been good. Well, we can bring our own. We're just going to need to find the inserts, print them, and slide them in. So that's your other option. All right, guys. So good. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start making the transition. And I still don't have a graphic for this, but I do want to let you all know how you can support the channel, and then we will go into our demo for today. So if you want to support the channel, back in the past, there used to be a little thing called Buy Me a Coffee, and sometimes there's videos that reference it. And yes, the Buy Me a Coffee thing is still live for people just to tip me with, so I've left that there just in case. But if you really want to support the channel, here's the way you do it. You go down below, underneath all this business here, and you'll find a Join Now link. I also have a Join Now link in the video description. It makes it even easier for you, where you can just highlight it, click it, and go. And you can join at all these fun Commodore-inspired levels. We go from Commodore PET all the way up to Mega 65. And along the way, you get all these perks. And if you come in at the PET, all you're doing is just supporting the channel and saying, hey, I just like what you do. I give you a little money every month. And you can contribute that to things like the Intellivision Sprint, which I really appreciate everybody doing that. Or You can go up to the next level, which is the VIC-20 level, and you get access to the Discord. I've mentioned the Discord several times here today. The Discord is where that chat room that you're in right now just continues 24/7 if you want it to. And we've got some great folks over there. And the only way that you can get into the Discord is to become a subscriber to the or member of the channel. So just want you to know that. I've had some folks say, hey, can I just come into the Discord? And we have decided as a Discord community that it's best that we have people in there that are only supporting the channel. Not because we want to be exclusive, because it protects the channel. We know that people giving are appreciative of the content, like the folks, and they want to be a part of it. So we have done that just ultimately it's my decision to do that, not to put it on the Retro Comians in the Discord. But I think it has created a really great space, a safer space for everybody. We don't have to worry about people putting things in there that don't need to be in there. It's just been a really good Discord. And yes, it is a smaller Discord, but it's full of like-minded people who just enjoy chatting. And we have all kinds of channels in there. We have all the retro computers covered. We have news. You get some behind the scenes stuff from me when I share stuff. You'll learn more about what's coming up on there than you'll know even before here. If I'm having problems, a lot of times it's there. And then we also have some fun stuff, like we have a channel for gearheads, so you can talk about cars if you want to, and 3D printing and other things that are kind of related. So if you're interested in the Discord, that's probably the number one reason that people join the channel. And you can do that, again, at the VIC-20 level. And as you go up, you get extra things. Now, if you go up to the Commodore 128, and the Mega 65 level, you get a couple of extra fun perks. And those perks are, at the 128 level, you get producer title credits on all the videos. And if you are an executive producer, you get executive producer credits on my videos. But you also get the opportunity to manage chat for us. So you can post links, you can ban people when they're not being friendly. Just a lot of little different things that you can do. And they're kind of my backups, which I really appreciate our executive producer. So the problem with being an executive producer is when you pay to become an executive producer, I put you to work too. So but it's fine. The guys are great. And the two that we have on today, Mislav and Jamie, are always so good at that. We've got a couple more that are not necessarily regulars, so they pop in every once in a while. They have access to those things. So that's how you can support the channel if you'd like to do that. Again, hit join down below. Now, the other fun thing that I want you to notice, if you notice in chat, you can tell who's a member because you've got all these great emojis next to them. So for instance, if we look at Mislav, he has a wrench, which shows that he's an executive producer and can manage the channel, but he's also got this really cool little emoji that says 2 years. Or 2Y, and that means he's been a member for 2 years. So you've got these longevity emojis and labels that Pat hop on to. And then you have other folks that have like Xander, for instance. Xander supports the channel by super chats, and what he does is gives a super chat every once in a while, but he also gets a #1 chat badge because he's one of our top chatters. So that's always fun too. And then Mr. Landfill is a #3 chatter. So there you go. So just lots of fun stuff that you can do when you join the channel, become a part of the community we call Retro Combians. Not my selection. They thought of that. So there you go. There is my going all public service television announcement for the day. Would really love to have more of you join if you are so inclined. Again, if you choose not to, completely understand. And we just hope that you join us for the chats and the videos. All right. Now we are going to transition after I take a drink. That's a lot of chatting. And we are right at the top of the hour almost. We're about 2 minutes behind. And now we're going to try and do this. We are going into dun 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 the demo. I need some kind of fanfare music. A demo. All right. So this is the topic for today. A little quick background. This is bare metal Commodore Emulator Interface Board from Tech Dungeon. I received this, didn't receive it. I purchased this while I was at Vintage Computer Festival Midwest 2025. And I had been wanting, actually, I've been planning to do a bare metal 64 or BMC 64 live stream and setup for years now, and was going to use a standard Raspberry Pi. But they had this in this great little complete kit. And I thought, why do I need to go through all that work when they've done all the work for me? Plus, what I didn't have in the version I was going to do were these. And we'll talk about why those are important here in just a minute. So you, my friends, get to open the bag with me while I'm here. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do an unboxing right here of the bare metal Commodore by Tech Dungeon. All right. Yeah. Oh, I want to record this too. Let me hit record. There we go. Record. Start. Because I might do a little thing. All right. So let me just step that up here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do an unboxing of the bare metal Commodore Emulator Interface. We are going to do an unboxing of the bare metal Commodore Emulator Interface Board from Tech Dungeon. So there's the information there. If you want to go take a look at their website, you can do that, techdungeon.xyz. Love that URL. That's great. The board has easy buttons for interfacing to menus and 2 Atari-style joystick ports. All right, let's open it up. Oh, this is kind of connected. Let's see. Outstanding. Here we go. Wait a minute. Did I just see? Did we just get a member? I think, and I don't know that I can highlight it, but I believe Wonder Dog. Let's see. Welcome to Vic 20 Colors. Congratulations, Wonder Dog. Wonder Dog is the latest member of the Retrocombians. Everybody, please welcome Wonder Dog to the Retrocombians. He will get an invite to the Discord. Wonder Dog, here's the deal. I think I've got it automated. Once you're a member, you can go to the member community in YouTube and you'll see the link to join Discord. So go there. If for some reason you cannot find that link, please email me at retrocombs@icloud.com and we will get that taken care of. All right. So welcome. Yeah, just move from Buy Me a Coffee. Oh, that's right. You're already on Discord. That's right. So we don't have to worry about it. So thank you for that. Thank you for the transition over. So that's how easy you can do it. See, folks, you can do it even while you're on the live stream. It's so easy. Wonder Dog just proved it to you. So thanks for doing that. Yes, I'd forgotten. I apologize that you're already on the Discord. I got so excited. All right, let's go back here and continue to unbox. Now, this is really nice. They provide, this is the other thing. I would have had to prepare my own SD card. I don't need to do that because they have that for us. Oh, look. Oh, Jamie, look who they're using for their SD cards. A little Micro Center. We have a Micro Center close. Not super close, but it's close. And so that's popular. So they're using Micro Center SD cards. Pull this out here. We'll take a look at this here in just a minute. And I love this. They printed a little 3D pair of tweezers. Does everybody know what that's for? If you know what that's for, put it in chat. We'll see. Let's see who's first to figure out why you need one of these. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and come over here. Let's take a close-up look at this little guy. This is pretty cool. So I love the styles in the C64. It's like a super chunky C64, but when you look at it this way, that's really nice. The print quality is very good. I assume this is a bamboo printer. You can see over here we have the slot for the SD card. On the back we have, that is HDMI, right? Yeah. What is that? Is that HDMI? Isn't that supposed to be HDMI? Let's see. What is that? I don't think that is. Oh, is this micro HDMI? Oh no. What is that? That's what kind of HDMI? That's not a standard HDMI, is it? That's that slim HDMI. Oh boy. Wow, I already did not count on that. So we already have one little stinker that we're going to have to figure out. And we also are going to need power on one of these USBs. So I'm happy to inform you that you will get a bug zap screen here in just a minute. Yes, to remove the SD card. Who put that in there? That was Xander. There we go. Xander, Xander was first. There you go. Xander beat you to it there, Mr. Landfill. So it's mini HDMI, and now I'm concerned. How am I going to plug in mini HDMI? I think I have a mini HDMI cable. Why? I guess this is a Raspberry Pi 2W. I should have checked that out. And then power is going to be off one of the USB ports, which I knew I needed that. So that's it. So I'm going to have to find some micro. Oh man, I thought that was, I don't know why I confused that and thought that was just going to be HDMI, but it is a little small, isn't it? So we can't do anything right now until I go find those cables. So, but before we do that, what we can do is we're going to take a quick look on this SD card and see what's going on. And then we're going to take a look at the website, and then we'll take a quick little break and I'll go grab that. I do have over here, I can plug this in. All right, that is plugged in. No, none of my other consoles have mini HDMI. So that's interesting. So that is a thing you all will need to remember if you get one of these. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up my Mac. Here we go. And I want to show you what is on the SD card. So let me blow this up here for you. So we'll take a look at this for a minute before we go looking for stuff. So this is Bare Metal 64. Now what makes Bare Metal 64 unique is you're not running an emulator on top of Linux like Raspbian OS on top of the Raspberry Pi. This is pure, how should I say it? A pure conversion of Vice to the hardware, the Raspberry Pi 2W hardware. Yes, this is the 2W, so there's Wi-Fi. So even before it boots, you have access to things like this config text, where you can set all these settings, right? And you can go in there and make changes. Now, supposedly what has happened with this is Tech Dungeon has done all the hard work for us, and we don't need to change anything. The one thing, though, I understand it doesn't have, let me see if there's any cartridge files in here. Yeah, there's a couple of things in here. There's nothing there. But under the C64, for instance, you can see that this has the information, but what it does not have are the ROMs. So unfortunately, Tech Dungeon felt that they could not deliver this with the ROMs. So, and I guess probably fair enough with what's going on with Commodore 64 Ultimate and the new Commodore. Maybe they're trying to protect that. Plus you have people selling the ROMs. So what they do is they do link to those ROMs on the, well, I have that link. Hold on. Let me bring that up here. I can do this. Let me pull this up here. And I believe I've linked to this. Yes, I did. I linked to this in the video description down below. So let me go ahead and bring this up. Let me, there it is. And let's go back over here. And many of you have seen this site. I know you know this site. But this is where you can grab the ROMs that you need. Now, the problem is the ROMs, when you grab them here, are probably, you're going to have to change the names. So this is the, what do they call this? I'm trying to remember. This is the Commodore, there's a name for this site. Shoot, I don't remember what it is. It's Commodore.ca. And if you're looking for manuals that have been archived, this is typically where you go. Firmware, all kinds of stuff. Here it is, what's on Commodore.ca. And so it's just a great site for all things Commodore. I'm interested to see how much longer this lasts with Commodore. Hopefully, this will be a site that will get picked up, maybe updated, taken care of, all those types of things. But it is a great site. And it's got all kinds of information about Commodore's history. I'm sure every one of you have probably seen this. If not, it is, again, the link is in the video description, so take a look at that. But it got me thinking, I could download all those, but here's the thing, and this is what makes this kind of interesting, is when you install Vice on your computer, it comes with all the ROMs pre-configured. And as a matter of fact, what I did is I came over here and I located them in Vice. So I have Vice 3.9 loaded on my Mac. That's what you're looking at right now. And then this is the ROM files for each one of these devices. Now, the bare metal Commodore will run, my understanding is it will run all of the same emulators that Vice will run. I think there's some caveats. Today we're going to focus on the Commodore 64 exclusively, but it should run also the 128. As a matter of fact, you can see right here that they have 128 listed and sort of semi-prepared for you here to get you started. You can see the file. So you see right here, it says put ROMs here. And then over here, we should also have a C64 put ROMs here as well. Well, where would I get those? Again, I decided to go to Vice. I am going to share with you one other thing. I just thought this was so cool. I'm going to move these out of the way. And now this is kind of geeky, so hang in there with me. But I'm going to tell you how I found these ROM files because I did not know exactly where they were. But what I did, and I'm going to bring it up here. Let's see. I think I need to. I have a terminal that I use on my Mac. I use it on Linux. I use it even on Chrome OS when I have a Linux container installed, and it is called Warp. If you are not familiar with Warp, this is a game changer, folks. Highly encourage you to experience Warp. So Warp is, first and foremost, it is a terminal. Secondly, it is an AI-powered terminal. Now, when you think of that, you immediately think, okay, so it will help you learn commands, and it does. It does a great job. I can say, hey, I don't remember how to do this thing with a terminal. What do I do? And it'll go through, but it gets deep. It knows your system. So I want to show you what I did to locate those ROM files, because you may want to do this yourself so that you don't have to go searching. So I just simply put in a query, and the AI used was auto. So there's no changes here. And I just said, where do I find the Commodore ROM files for Vice 3.9? Now, immediately you're thinking, okay, so this thing's just going to go out on the web and tell you where it is. Take a look at this, folks. Take a look. So now, what it's doing right now is it's warping. And what it says is the ROM files for Vice 3.9 on Mac OS are typically located in the application bundle. So here you go here. Or more generally, this is where they are. You can verify the location with this. Or if installed Vice via Homebrew, which I did because that keeps everything updated, the ROMs are usually here. To check which Vice installation you have and locate their ROMs, run this. So it creates this whole command for you so that I can just say, yeah, run that for me. I want to see what we've got. And so now it's warping through again. It's running its commands, and now it's checking to see which version of Vice I have installed. It's not just looking online to see, it's actually looking and digging into my system. And then it says the ROM should be here, and you can list them with this. So then we can copy this right here, or we can run it. I'm just going to run it. Oh, why didn't that work? Let's try it again. Oh, that's because I need the, I didn't, yes. Okay, so I need this one right there. There we go. I grabbed the location. I didn't grab the command with it, sorry. Check path. Interesting, it worked just a few minutes ago. Let's see, check the path for the ROM file. Okay, so there we go. So now I've had to go through an extra step. So it's looking again to try and find it for us. And it should not be an application bundle, which is perfect. Okay, I'll run this command to read the script. Let's do that. What I should have said is I installed it via Homebrew and it would immediately pop up. Matter of fact, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, let me tell it I installed Vice using Homebrew. Locate the ROM files for me. Let's try this. It's interesting, I'm getting a different outcome with you than I did. I mean, I just came up just like that, which is very interesting. There we go. That's where they're located. So we should be coming up pretty good now. So there you go. So now we know where the C64 ROM files are. And then I could say something like this, open this directory in Mac Finder. And then what it did was it came over here, and this is the window that it opened. So it just did that for me. So I didn't have to copy, paste, or do anything. Now it's in the Finder. And then if I want to see all the ROMs, I can come up here, go to Vice, and there are all the ROMs. So I just thought I'd share that with you. If you're looking for a tool that will help you with your retro computing, especially on Vice, because here's the other thing that I did with Warp. When you install Vice with Homebrew, it does not create application file or application icons in your applications folder for a Mac. So I said, and I didn't know how to do that with Terminal. There's no way I would have ever figured that out. But the resources come for the icons within Vice 3.9. So I said, please create the launch icons for the applications folder for Mac. It did every one of them. It is amazing, as a matter of fact. And I think I can show you those. Let's see if I can bring up so that you can see them. and they look like this. So it did all of this for me. It created all of these icons for me right there, which I think is just fabulous. There may be some individual ones for each one. I don't believe there are. I think it's just that, but that's the resource that it found to use. So now I have those, and those are available whenever I do a search for an application. So you can see those there. So again, Warp is just your best friend. I don't know if anybody else is using it. Some of you may be saying, oh, that's going to make you stupid because you're not learning commands. But I will tell you this, I have learned more Linux commands using this, reading what it's doing, understanding what it's doing, than I ever did by itself. So just thought I'd share that with you. Please feel free to chat about that, because what I need to do now, and I'm going to put this view up here for now, I need to go find a power source for this and an HDMI cable. If I can't find that HDMI cable, this is going to be a very short podcast. And then what we'll do is we'll come back and we will finish up our work on our SD card. We will take the ROMs that we located with Warp and Vice, pull them out of here, and put them over into here. So when we boot, we'll have our ROMs. All right, so that's the plan. Let me see if I can go find what we're looking for. Congratulations. I know you all love it. I know you all are looking forward to it. Here it is. Go. Okay, we are back, and the good news, folks, let me just check. Yeah, we're back. The good news is I found everything I needed pretty quickly. This is what's great when you start to get organized a little bit. So I do have this cable right here. Now what I'm going to have to do, this is the, is this a mini or a micro? No, this is a mini. This is mini HDMI, right? I think is what they call it. So it does require that. I am going to have to undo this, and we're going to have a weird kind of situation. I'm going to have to run this HDMI cable to my capture card, and I'm going to do this and hope that when I unplug something and plug something new in, it doesn't take us down. All right, so that's the plan. You're going to hear me. I'm going to leave the microphone up and everything, but I've got to go behind over here and track everything and make sure I don't mess this up. So here I go. All right, let me walk around here, and this one is, I'm going to track this cable. One of these days I'm going to label the cables from end to end. I still haven't done that, and I need to do that. That one's going in. Oh man, that's going to get difficult. That is this one right here. Yeah, I really need to label these at some point. All right, I'm going to unplug. Let's hope it doesn't take everything down. All right, so far so good. Looks like I still have a screen. I am going to plug in this new cable. Everybody cross your fingers. We're plugging in. Let's come in it this way. That seems a little awkward. We are plugging in 3, 2, 1. Okay, still solid. I don't anticipate it should go down, but you never know with a Retro Combs live stream. And then we're going to run this under here. And hopefully, there we go. That right there. Okay, and then let's plug in our stuff here. So we'll let's clean up the desk here a little bit. We've got our joystick here. We are going to need that in a little bit. So we're going to take this. Again, I believe it's mini USB, not micro. And we're going to plug that into here. Okay, so that should, and I do have my capture card on, so we should be able to do that. And then we need power. So this is what I'm unsure. Which one of these is power? Do I need to go to their website and check it out? Let's see if we can pull up their website here. And that is tech. Nope, let's do this. Okay, because I've had it up before. I think I can find it faster here. There it is. Right there. And then I'll bring this over here so that you can see it as well. So let me pop this over here. I thought I was going to do that. Well, let's see if we can get that over to the Mac screen. Oh, interesting. Uh-oh, I lost my Mac screen. Whenever I made those changes, I was afraid something like that was going to happen. Oh boy, let's see. I lost my input to my Mac. So did I unplug the wrong one? I think maybe, folks, I unplugged the wrong one. Hang on. Let's see. Did I grab... I did. I grabbed the wrong one. Oh, no. Let's try this again. Let's make sure. Okay, that's right. Now I've got to try and find this again. Let's see. How did I mess that up? It is this one right here. It's that blue one. Oh, that makes sense. It would be, yeah. Okay, now I know what I did. All right, got it. So let me grab this cable. Here. And that will be out of here and into here. There we go. That makes sense. All right. Now we have our Mac back. So there you go. Oh, you all love live television and the disasters that come. Here you go. Hey, at least we still got 27 of you hanging in there. So I appreciate you hanging in there with me today. We are going to get this thing fired up for sure. Let's see. So here's the website. Let's see if they have, oh no, wrong one, Stephen. over here. Let's blow this thing up a little bit for you. Let's see where we plug in power. He's got a demo here. Let's see if we can figure out. Now, there are different versions you can purchase. You can purchase an assembled or non-assembled. He's showing you the non-assembled version. Let's see if we can get this thing plugged in. Please tell me you're going to plug it in. I don't think he ever plugs it in. You get a chance to see the inside, because we won't break that open today. And of course, he did not show how to plug it in. Everything I was expecting was not in there. Let's see which one. Any let's see, see the Commodore files. You need a power supply for your Raspberry Pi. If you wish, you can connect a USB. Option 1 is really all you need to put together. All you need to do is take the included SD card, put it in the BIOS and ROM files needed along with the software. It's important when assembling. Okay, we're not assembling. Take out. He does not show. I'm going to assume it doesn't matter which one of those we plug that into. I have not worked with a Raspberry Pi Zero W in a long time. Folks in chat, anybody know which one of these? And what I'm talking about is for power. Does it matter which one of these we use on a Raspberry Pi Zero? For some reason, I don't think so. But we'll try it. See. All right, so there, we'll put that in there. We'll put it in that one right there is what we're looking at. So this is what we have. And I'll plug that in over here whenever we're ready. But we need to finish preparing our SD file. So let's go ahead and do that. And if somebody wants to kind of, it said the outer one. So, oh really, as I said, the outer one. Did you say that? I'm sorry, I just saw that. I appreciate you redoing that for me. So let me get my chat back up here so I can see that too. Got a lot going on. So this one, right, the outer one would be this one right here. So let's do that. Maybe. There we go. All right, let's clean up our mess here. All right, so there we go. Now we've got micro or mini HDMI and micro USB for power, which again, I'll plug in over here once we get that. Okay. All right, we'll give that a shot. Let's go ahead and go back to our Mac over here. Let's go ahead and close this. We're going to minimize this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume, I know I probably shouldn't assume, but I think I can easily assume, since this is Vice, that I can take all of our files over here, our bin files and our, let's see what else we have. Because it says we need our ROMs and our BIOS files. So here is, let me pull this out so we can see this. That should be these bin files and these, where are they? They are, yeah, these palette files I think we can bring over, and the kernel files. Here they are, the bins here. Now we have some GTK stuff here. I'm afraid if I take those over, that's going to cause a problem. I think if I stick with the bin files, that's all we're going to need. So that's the theory. We're going to try that. So let's sort by type here. So we'll do by kind. We'll go down here to the bottom. Looks like all of our bins are now combined right here, because it says in the instructions. Let's go ahead and pull that back up so we can see one more time. That we are to grab For models with market SD, they've included video software, but you still need to download and install the BIOS and ROM files needed for the various systems you want to emulate. The BMC 64 linked website has more information on the files needed for each. The following URL. Okay, so I need to go to the BMC 64 linked website. Let's check that really quick, which is here. Let's see what they say. So this is the kind of stuff you go through, right, when you're trying to figure this out. Looks like, note you will have to rename files from your names you find here to the names the emulator expects above. For example, this bin becomes chargin. So we need kernel, chargin, basic. So I think, let me blow that up for you guys. This is what we're looking for. Let's see if in the, let's get that where you can see it. See if we have those files. So it says kernel, which we have kernels. We have different kernels. We have this chargin. We have basic. I don't see the D1541. That's probably in a different directory. The bootstat.txt. I don't think we mess with that because I think that's already in here. Let's see. Yeah, that one's already in here. Okay. So that one is there. And then the RPI sim. Okay, that one's in there. So we need the kernel, and I don't know which kernel to choose. This one includes a bunch of them, but it looks like it's all of these files. And there's two of these charging files too. Can't confirm that the other one. Anybody in chat want to take a guess? What I'm going to do now first, though, is I'm just going to grab them all and copy and paste them. We can get rid of them and delete them as we go. And all we're going to work on today is getting the C64 working. So this would be a good start. So let me go ahead and copy these over. Now we know for a fact, well, I say that. Let me go ahead and check. Is there a 1541? Here's disks. Here's, let's see, C64. Oh, here's drives. Let's do drives. That's where they're supposed to be. Oh, there's nothing in the drives area. I thought that would be where the 1541s go. They'll basically all work, I think. Those are ROM release dates. You could try the latest. That's kind of what I was thinking, Lone Tech. It's going to go with the largest number, right? So let's try, and we need one kernel. So let's do this. Let's duplicate that one. And let's just call that the kernel. Like that. So we'll take that. So I guess the question is, over here it says it's kernel. It doesn't have the extension on it. So I guess I need to take the bin off, which seems very odd, but you know, we'll do that. Okay, so there's our kernel. Now we need the latest one of these. So let's go ahead and we will duplicate this one. And we'll make that. I can blow this up for you all a little bit, I think. Nope, that's as large as this is getting. So this one is the chargin right there. The other one we need is basic, and I believe there's only one of those. We'll go ahead and duplicate, and I'm duplicating it because I want the original still in here in case I need to do something else with it. Okay, now what we don't have is the 1541 double I. Let's see if we can find that one somewhere. 1541. So here is, let's go over here and let's go back to Vice. I think, here's drives. Let's see what we have. Okay, 1541. 1541. Here it is right here. So we'll take that one. I have to say, this was a lot easier using the ones from Vice. We'll drop that one into here, and then we will rename that one. What are they looking for there? They are looking for D1541 2. So it looks like 2 double I's and a small D. Did I get it? D, I can't believe I can't make these larger. D15412. All right, looks like I've got them. What are you guys talking about? Let's see. Maybe not perfect, but together with the 15.1 Ultimate card, I'm still very happy with relocate. Oh yeah, kind of sad that they faded in obscurity. Yep. Can confirm that the outer one, thank you, is marked by. They'll basically all work. I think those are ROM release dates. Yeah, we talked about that. Did that. Odd, but the numbers in the ROMs are the same as, okay, gotcha. Hey, welcome, by the way. I think this is your first live stream with us, so thanks for joining. Good to have you here. And Rialto, nice to have you here. Let's see. This is interesting. This is interesting. Picris Burton, good to have you here. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you think this is interesting. It is something. I would say that. It is definitely something. What exactly are you doing, if I may ask? We are trying to, since you're probably coming in a little bit late, we are trying to get this little guy working right here. This is the BMC 64, or the BMC, the bare metal Commodore unit from Tech Dungeon working. And again, for those catching up, I purchased this at Midwest Computer Festival 2025 as a little packet and a kit. And so what we're doing now is we're trying to move the ROM files we needed over to the SD card so that we can finally boot this thing. And I think, guys, I think we're there. I think we have everything we need. Let's go back and take a look at it and see. But I think we have, again, I'm going to leave all these originals in here. If it works, and I'll come back and kill them. But I think we have all of the kernel. We have the charging. We have the basic. We have the D15412. This one is in there. It is down here. They've already done that one. And the boot stat text they've already created for us here. So we should be able to at least get the C64 running, which is the goal of today. Remembering that we can get all the other ones on here, and I will work through those eventually, but not during a live stream. You guys, it's like watching grass grow as it stands right now. So, except for a few of you. A few of you think it's kind of interesting, so thanks for that. All right, so let me go ahead and I'm going to close this up right here, and then we are going to eject let me get this back over here. I am going to come over here and eject I need to maximize that, my SD card. So eject, no name. All right, so let me come back over here to our close-up view. You get a good shot of my shoulder there, or my elbow. So here it is. There's the card. Now what we're going to do is we're going to plug this in to our BMC unit right here. Now typically they're upside down. There we go, and put that in there. There you go. Now we know why we have this, because that would be hard to get to. But now with these, I can simply do this and pull that right out. That is, you know what? That's kind of a nice addition. This, oh, there we go. This will be a nice tool right here just to have by the side just in general, because we have a lot of projects with these things during our live streams that have some kind of small little, actually I've got a place over here. It's perfect with it because this is where I store over there my micro SDs. All right, so folks, it's ready. The other thing I didn't share with you is there are buttons over here on the side. You're supposed to be able to work through the menus with these, but you can also work through the menu with your joystick. So let's go ahead and plug in our joystick. I do have a joystick here. This is, of course, the Retron 77. Love these things. You know, I didn't link to that in the video description. I should do that because I love these things so much. They're like modern recreations. But, of course, now you can get the Atari CX40 Plus, which is also a good joystick. But I think this is just a little higher quality. Plus, it's a lefty and a righty. That button works. It's the same button. So that's kind of nice. All right, let's plug in joystick port 1 or 2. Who knows? We'll go here. We'll probably have to shift it later. All right, so now, there you go. There's the setup, guys. Now we're going to boot it and see what happens. And booting involves just basically plugging it in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my retro view. This is my video capture card. I'm going to plug in the Raspberry Pi and the BMC unit. Everybody, do that thing you do for me. Cross those fingers. Cross those fingers. Let's see how we do. And I've got a little place over here. I'm going to plug it in. Should provide just enough power to boot this little Raspberry Pi 2W that's in here. Here we go. Boom. We are plugged in. Oh, signal went away. That's a good sign. Oh my goodness. Did you see that, guys? That was fabulous. That just, boom, right up. Oh, that is the smoothest anything has happened. Even though we had a little bumps along the way and needed to find some cables and some other things, that was super fast. Now again, this is a Raspberry Pi. There's no Linux distribution. This thing is booting from bare metal. That's what they're talking about. So Vice has been configured to boot from bare metal. So it's immediately should just boot. That was fast. That felt Commodore 64 fast. Man, that was so interesting. Mr. Landfill says RAM counter is different. Could be something weird going on. By the way, I think there's something else going on here too. I'm going to change something. Where's my... I can, oh shoot, I was using it yesterday and I think I put it somewhere and didn't put it back where it's supposed to go. Let me see. What did I do with it? Because I really need it right now. Oh, there it is right here. Okay, good. I need my remote because what I need to do is put this in 4x3. There you go. That's what it should look like. That's perfect. So I'm fortunate. My capture card that I have, I can immediately on the fly go to 16:9 or 4x3. I love this thing. This Cloner Alliance Pro is awesome. By the way, if you're interested in a great capture card for your PC project or your Retro Commodore projects like that, don't forget my other channel, Retro Combs Dash Tech, where I review those types of things. As a matter of fact, I just did one on the Cloner Alliance Pocket Pro, which is perfect for retro computing. It's got this great cable with AV inputs and everything. You can check that out on that channel. It's a good little video. It'll teach you a little bit about the capture devices I use. So here it is. Now, what I don't know is how we get to the menus and how do we play game. I did not put a game on here. We're probably going to want to put a game on here. So I do have, what I have is I have a USB stick full of Commodore 64 games. So we'll get some of those on there. But before we do that, I want to make sure everything's working. I assume, and you know me, I shouldn't make assumptions, but I assume that I can press one of these buttons, probably the middle one, and that will bring up the Vice menu. That's what we're going to try, all right? So let's go back to our retro view. Pressing the middle button. There you go. Now that's interesting. 50 hertz about. So I think you can move down the menu. Let's see. There's another menu there. Now I think it also said you can use the, you can use the joystick. So check this out. let me go back here. I am using my joystick to move through the menus. That's kind of cool. Look at that. Now, I'm not sure. We probably want to pick, I don't know. Is it me or does it look like it's part Japanese here? Did we choose the wrong ROM? Now that's got me wondering. Did we get the wrong ROM, folks? The character set. Yes, got the wrong character set. So, and that's the charging, right? It's missing exactly 2K of basic RAM. Yeah, I think we've got the wrong character gen. So we're going to need to fix that. So I think what we need to do is go back in. I'm glad I didn't remove any of those files. So now what we'll do is we'll just rename another one and try it. The good news is this thing boots super quick, so this should be pretty easy. While we're in there too, we will go ahead and drop in a game or two. I do think this is really funny though, that we have this. Now, somebody mentioned it's the VIC 20s on the SX64 colors. I'm sure that's all the ROM. We've not picked the right ROM and everything. So this is where it gets a little quirky, I think. It really would be nice if the folks over at Tech Dungeon would tell us exactly which ROMs they used. And maybe they do somewhere, or somebody does, but I've not seen it. So we're gonna, how much time do we have? Do we have enough time? We do. We have a few more minutes. I think it's valuable for us to go through this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power off, which for this just involves shutting it down, just pulling the plug. And then we're going to come back over here to our Mac. And what I'm going to do, and he doesn't tell us, does he? Let's see. HDMI 3 for, I'm checking to see if he tells us which. Yeah, he doesn't tell us which ROMs we should use either. He just says, does he? Let's see. No, he does not. Checking. Yeah, I don't see that. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. And I'm going to, now this is why we need our ROM puller or our SD card puller, because we've got to get that little guy out of there. So again, this is pretty handy. Not bad, huh? All right, let's plug this back in over here. And I'm going to plug my USB in with some games so we can get maybe 1 or 2 games over. By the way, if you've got a game that you think we need to drag over, let me know. I think I have everything on that SD card or that USB that is humanly possible as far as games. Let's see. So now let's go ahead and grab, this is the no name, which is our list of, blow that up for you. So I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do so that I'm not confused? I am going to delete that one, which is the latest one. So let me get rid of this one. So I'm going to move to trash. The one we used was the latest one, which was this one. Now we're going to use this one. So let's go over here and grab this one. So there's the characters. All right, and basic seemed to be okay, right? Unless there was something weird with basic. And then our kernel, we use the latest kernel. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 3 here. And so we know. Well, let's do this. Let me delete this kernel. Move to trash, and let's try this one right here. I don't know why. I just kind of want to try. I keep double clicking. I've been meaning to rename. I just think somewhere around the middle seems fine for what we're trying to do. So let me see if this works. So I'll come back here to kernel. I didn't copy it this time because if it doesn't work, I just want it to go away. So that should give us everything again. So that should be good. Let's go ahead and let's get a couple of game discs. Is that where discs go? C64. All right, so then I don't know if it will, let's see, let's do games. Let's see what I have here. I've got some C64s here. I'm going to grab just a few games and bring them over for now. I have some tape files too. That could be interesting. But let's go ahead and drag these over. So a couple of games there. These are all going to be A games, and what I mean by A games is not quality, just games that start with an A. Oh, here's one. This could be good. This is a tape. Let me check something. Is there a tape thing too? Let's see. +4 PET, PRG file, tapes, there we go. And C64. So we'll drag one of those in here too. And this one is AC/DC Pinball. So we're just getting a little smattering of stuff here. And then one game that I would like to see if it runs that starts with an A is Ace of Aces. That could be good. You can see in here we can load up the ROMs for other systems too. And I'll keep working on that. And as I get those working, maybe eventually I'll do a blog post where I consolidate all that for everybody. I think that could be good. Let me grab Ace of Aces here. Oh, that's not where that goes. Woo, almost made a mistake. Almost botched that one. Goes under discs. C64. There we go. And then we'll do Ace of Aces. Okay, so now we have a different ROM, a different character set, and we have 4 D64 games and 1 tape game. So let's go ahead and do this. We will go ahead and eject this one. And hopefully we will have not Japanese, which is really kind of cool when you think about it, that it is working with the ROM from the Japanese version. So if you needed to do that, you could do that. Googling gave me a kernel product name of 901227 and a character generator of 901225. Okay, good. Let's hang on to that. Since I've already ejected, let's go ahead and plug this in and see what happens, but then we will come back to those and maybe swap those out really quickly. So I know you all like to see how the sausage is made, so let me go down here to the close-up. And so again, I'm going to plug this in here. Got that, and we are going to plug it in, and let's get you the retro view so you can watch how fast it boots. I am plugging in 3, 2, 1. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. But oh, oh no! Guess which kernel we got, guys? This is oh my gosh, this is fun. So yeah, that's definitely not the ROM we're looking for. That was, oh my god. I'm curious now, just what would the button on the side, will it let me, yeah, it'll, oh, and at least everything's, you know, set up. Can I make a selection? Let's see, I can't change, oh wait, maybe I need to, oh, there's an on-screen keyboard, look at that. You have an on-screen keyboard that you can use. That's pretty cool. I just lucked into that. That's with the back button. Let me go back in here to the menu. I can't change from PAL 50 Hertz HDMI. Evidently some of this stuff is locked in. Let's see, auto start, machine, ROMs. So I wonder, so could we just, can I load from, let's see if we can load from, yeah, why don't we just do this? This makes more sense for me. Which one did you recommend? You said 227. Let's just try that. It looks like we can just load it from here. And there you go. Well, that's easier. I think we should leave them all in there and then just have some fun booting around to whichever one we need. And that gets us the correct colors and everything as well. I think that's a better way to do it. So I think what I'll do is go back and put those, I'm just going to drop ROMs everywhere. And then we can just come in here. We can also load our basic ROM, and it looks like our, yeah, and I wonder if it keeps that from session to session. I think that would be interesting. You said the character generator was 225. Let's see. These are Mac files. I'll have to get rid of these. Don't just ignore these right here. I hate that Mac does that, especially on removables. I got to find out if there's a way to stop that. I hate that it does that. But let's go ahead and choose, what did you say? Character gen of 225. I don't have 225. Oh wait, no I do. That's the one I used. Yep, I renamed that one. So that one's okay. So looks like we're good there. Let me go back. So that's good. Let's see if we can, now it's got, the other thing is you'll notice it has scan lines. I'm just curious, can I get rid of scan lines? Let's see, here's drives, cartridge, snapshots. You can take your snapshot. Here's your video. Scanning or scaling oh wow, this is a lot of stuff. Here's your color palette, which you can load color palettes. So if you wanted to adjust your color palette, that would be good. I do like using the joystick to move around. Custom, so there's, you know what, there's a lot of changes on here. Here's, hopefully we'll have some game volume. We can have dual SIDs on or off. I'm liking that. Here's our keyboard mapping. You can plug in a keyboard. Here's warp mode. I was wondering where warp mode was, so that'll speed things up for loading. We will leave that off for now. Let's see. Oh, let's save our, oh, there we go. So if we save our settings, so that should now remember our ROM from the last setting. So when we come back in, it'll all be right. So my recommendation at this point is grab all of your ROMs, all of your character sets, all your basic version, everything, and drop those into there and then pick the one you need. So that's what we've learned today, all right? We've learned that you don't have to pick one or the other. You don't have to rename it. Just drop them all in there, pick what works or the configuration you want, hit save, and then it will boot to that. Now I say that, let's reboot and see if that's what happens. So let's see if we can go back in here and let's reset. It says settings saved, okay. So let me get out of here. I'm not sure how we get out of here. It says settings saved. Let me hit the button here. There we go. And let's go ahead and reset. And let's do a hard reset, and that will let us know if everything, yeah. So let's just test one more thing. I'm going to unplug now. and see if it changes that. Because you remember before it was the console version, the C64 console. So let's unplug. I'm going to plug it back in, and it should, because we saved our settings, go back to... This power thing is really tricky. It should go back to our C64. There we go. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. There you go. Check it out, guys. Looking at it, we're 720p, 50 hertz. I didn't see scan lines. Did you guys see scan lines? Not that I necessarily want them off, but let's go to video. I guess I do kind of want them off. Scaling, apply to the CRT shader. Is it under the CRT shade? Enable. There we go. So, oh wow, that's interesting. Look at the border. It looks like there's a frame around that, but you can use plus or minus for increments. It is interesting that it is telling me all this information. Wow, I really like this. Let's turn that back on. I'm going to leave it on. And what we're going to do is, not that one. We are going to go in and load a game. Let's see. Shall I play a game? Let's try it. Let's go to drives, true emulation. Let's insert something into drive A. Let's attach a disk. This is just like Vice, right? Let's go to, I was wanting to see Ace of Aces anyway. Okay, so now I don't have a keyboard. So let's see, I thought you could auto run when you attached. Can I do a soft reset and then it will just load the disk? Let's see. Let me go down here. Let's save settings. Okay, so that's saved. And now let's do a reset and soft. No. So this is where I'm going to struggle, I think, understanding. I thought there was a way when you, let me make sure the disk is still attached. I don't know if any of you have any ideas. Bare Metal Raspberry Pi port of Vice. Thank you. You have the virtual, I know I do have the virtual keyboard. What a pain in the neck. I guess I can do it though. We will do it. I just thought, for some reason I was thinking in Vice there was a way to attach and run immediately. And I'm not seeing that. Let me see here, options, no. I'm pretty sure in Vice there is auto start. Oh, here it is, auto start programmer disk. That's what I want. I think that's what I want. Let's try. And then, nope. It's not that one, Stephen. It is disks. Oh, drive, disks, there it is. Disks. There we go. And it is C64. And then it is Ace of Aces. Now this should do it. There we go. That's how you do it, folks, instead of you trying to use that virtual keyboard. So you attach the disk and then go to auto start. Now, it's loading, and it's loading at real time. Let's go ahead and see if we can bump up. I think a keyboard on this would be kind of cool. Let's go ahead and go to warp mode. Okay, and then we'll go back. And we'll hope it's loading. Basic bytes, is that, shoosh, I can't really tell if it's loading either. I missed the little, in Vice on your PC, you have a little thing in the upper right-hand corner. I feel like it's not loading because we're in warp mode and it should have already loaded. Let's see if we have, I'm gonna turn, oh, it says off. Let's turn it on. I think I have to do save settings. Is that why? Is that what happened? Maybe? It says it's on. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's do let's reboot it in warp mode and then turn it off to play the game. So let's do, oh, here it is, auto start warp. There it is. Okay, and then here, and then here, and let's try that again. You can set disk noises in Vice. Oh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. And I don't know, let me see. Make sure sound is on. HDMI 5. There we go. All right, HDMI 5 is on, which is that. Okay, let me see if we can get drives. We may have tried a different game. This one may not be working, or I'm just doing something wrong. Of course, let's see. Sound. Yeah, it's not under there. Let me see if it's under the disks. Here's drives. Here's true emulation. Virtual devices. I'm not sure what that is. I don't see the option to play sound for this. This is the reason why everybody uses fast loaders. Yeah, you could probably, as a matter of fact, you could probably load a fast load ROM in here because it probably supports cartridge files too. Yeah, this does not seem to have the sound for the drive, which is a miss. I would like to have that. I say that. Let me just go down here and make sure. Yeah, I don't see it. You have true emulation on. That means you get the actual speed of the 1541. So it doesn't. So you're thinking that doesn't override. Okay, let's try that. And then let's go ahead and save this. Okay, and then let's go back and let's retry it again. We're going to get something loaded on here before I go. I don't care what it is. We're going to get one piece of software loaded before I go. And then we'll call it a day. So let's see. Let's go back up. And we want to auto start. Let's turn this off. Let's do this. Let's just do a different one just to see what's going on. Oh, interesting. Device not present. That's different. Okay, that means I have a setting because there's no reason. Let's just make sure. That is probably, yeah, that's an error we have injected with some kind of change to our setup. So let me try something here. What did we mess up? Let's see. We changed that. Oh, here we go. So we got that back. For many types of copy protection, it doesn't work unless you use the true disk emulation. Yeah, this is where it gets weird. Let's try a different game. Any ideas, guys? I'm struggling here to find something. We could try. Well, is it just disks? Try something here. I don't think we can go into searching found. Let's see if this works. This is a tape. There we go. So that's working. A tape is working. So we're doing good there, but I'm not hearing sound. Let's see. Let me check on over here, make sure. We should have sound. Also, do you need the 1541 ROM? We had the 1541 2 ROM, but you're right, we didn't carry that other one over. Could be, Wonder Dog. We may need to bring more over. I kind of want to just see. I'm not getting any sound out of this. Let's see. Is there? Make sure that we have. we've got volume all the way up. We should have sound. I'm not sure what's happening there. I changed it to the 6581, the original. Thought it might be more compatible. Oh, here it is. Drive sound emulation. Let's turn that. It was under prefs. Drive sound emulation volume. Show status bar. Always. There we go. Status bar padding. That's fine. Keyboard transparency. Look for files in. Oh, here we go. So here. All right. Now save that. Now, there we go. Now we have some additional things. Let's go ahead and bring up our virtual keyboard here, and let's do space is usually that. There we go. All right, so here's the keyboard, or here's the game rather. Okay, that should let us play now. Yeah, probably joystick's in the wrong location, be my guess. Let me try. But then it's not going to work in the menu, so. There we go. Now, if I could just get the sound working, but I'm not getting any sound being transmitted to my capture card. I can see that. Oh! Oh, the joystick does work in the other port too, so that's good to know. So just so you see what's happening, I had to unplug over here to get it to work in the game, and it was working in the menu on this port, but it works here for the menu and the game. So you want to be on port, I guess that's 2. Yeah, that would be 2. So remember, port 2. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's, let me, I don't know, do we want to do anything else, or have we pretty much exhausted this thing for now? Let me just check and see. My device is older version, so I'm not sure about 3.9. You guys were talking about something else. In virtual device is something you want off. Oh, so let me see what I have set. Let me go back in here. There we go. Let me get in back into here. That was up here if I remember. Here's ROMs, switch. So we can switch our machine here. So that's how, so I will load those up because I want to do that. Virtual devices, let's turn that off. Okay, let's try that. I'm just confused why I don't have sound, because I should be getting sound. I know I get sound out of this setup. Mini HDMI does support sound, right? Surely that's not a thing. Let me just check one more thing. I'm sure it's just a matter of me going in here trying to figure it out. I'll have to do some Googling and see if I can figure out why I'm not getting sound out of here. But I do want to try. These should automatically be configured. Yep, those are automatically configured. Don't touch those. If you mess this up, you're going to mess up your ports, your joystick ports. Those did come pre-installed. So here's drive sound. Okay, we're going to try and load another 1581. Actually, you know what? I'm also going to change. I'm going to change the ROM. I'm going to load a different kernel ROM. We're going to do 902273. And then we are going to, did I get that one? Yep, 3. And then we are going to save that. And then we are going to hard reset. Okay, then I want to come back in here and I want to pop back up. We're going to try a disk one more time. If it doesn't work, then we'll start to wind down. But at least we got it working. I'm pleased with that. And again, just impressed at the quality of this little distribution for Raspberry Pi. So let's go ahead and do this. Now we do have our indicator on, so we should be able to see kind of what's going on. Let's go down here to disks. And 120 or C128 or C128, C64. And I'm going to try, well, we haven't tried this one yet. Let's try this. All right, we have an indicator, but it's just stalled. It's not doing anything. I think it could be that 1541 ROM that you all were talking about. There's no stereo jack on here. Yeah, there's no stereo jack on this one. Are you thinking that maybe that's a setting that needs to be set? Oh, I see. Sometimes an option. Yeah, but I think for that's in, oh, it could be in the text file though. You know what? You might have something there. You could have something. Okay, let's just check something. I'm going to, while I have you all, what time is it? I've got to leave here in a little bit for Penn and Teller. We're going to Penn and Teller. I think I told you all that. So I'm going to do that here in a minute, but I am going to pop over here and we are going to do something here. I am, now that I know that this is going to work, while I have you all, I am going to come over here and let's go to C64 and I'm going to try something. Did I close that window? Probably. Let's see, can I go recent folders? Here we go. Vice. Okay, so here are all the ROMs in Vice. I'm going to try something. I am going to come over here to C64. What I don't want to do is, you see we have palettes. We do know it supports palettes because we saw those. So I'm going to grab all the palettes. This could get tricky. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to grab all of these, throw those over. Okay, and then, so that'll give me all those back, and I'm going to remove this business here. So I'm going to remove that one, because now we know we don't have to have the names. So let's move that one to trash. Let's move the kernel to trash. I'm sure they'll default if they are that, but we don't need to do that. And then basic, we'll do that one. Okay, and then we have the 1541. What I'm going to do is come back over here, and I think there was a drives folder over here too. Yeah, there is. So let's see what's in there. So go into here. Nothing in there, but if we go into here under Vice, we have all of these drives. So what I'm going to do is grab these. I'm going to pop those over here. Now, let's see. Command line text _ out HDMI. We will check that lone tech. Let's do that while we're in here. I think that is a good option to check. So that will get that. We're going to stop there. That will give us all the drives we could possibly need. We have all the C64s. Now that we're talking about is right here. So let's check. Let me open this with, I have an editor. I like to use Textastic for quick editing because it's big. And we are looking for something that, so this is it. This is all that's in that file. Audio _ out to HDMI. They don't even have that. They have scaling parameters. Now there's also a config.txt. We didn't get those confused, did we? Because there's this one right here. Let me load this one too. Open with, we gotta be careful. We don't want to bork this either. There's scaling, HDMI group. I think it's, display, so for the machines.txt store. Oh, .text store the options. Is that right? Where's that? Oh, right here. Oh, interesting. Okay, there you go. There's some information for us. So thank you. Lone Text says that in this file, you can, That's where everything is saved. So if you want to make some manual changes, so timing, standard, HDMI, all those things can be configured by machine in here. That's where it's saving it to. So that's interesting. So that's just kind of where it gets the settings. So I'm not going to mess with that manually. I do want to check and see. Let's just do it. HDMI. Actually, we want audio out. I'm sorry. Does not look like there's one here. Let's check back on the, yeah, so it's not in here. This can make audio work in, So that's the only place for audio in the config text. Let's see. Yeah, let's check. So we don't have, there wasn't one in command line. I mean, that's interesting. I guess we could, since you found it, let's just add it and see what happens. And you said it was audio underscore out equals HDMI. I can't imagine that they left that out because there is not a 3.5 millimeter jack on this thing. So I guess we'll check it out. Hey Dave, good to have you here. Okay, so we're going to close this. We're going to close this. We are going to eject this. We're going to come back over to here. We're going to plug this back in right here. We are going to plug it back in, and by the time I get this plugged in and get switched over, it'll be booted up. I hope. We haven't borked it. Retro. And it didn't boot. I borked it, guys. Let's see. Actually, it may need a ROM. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I think has happened there. It does require a kernel file, a character gen file, and a other file before it can start. So you need at least one of those because it's not. It doesn't know what to grab out of that. So that makes sense. So let me fix my error just so that we have completeness here, and we have something working, and then we'll start to wind down for the day. All right, there we go. So we'll come back in here, and let me give you the Mac view so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go back into my C64, and I'm going to duplicate the ones that worked, and we chose this one right here, so I'm going to duplicate that. So this will be my standard, and that will be kernel. All right, we need this one up here, so we decided that that was this one. Duplicate. Rename that. And then the basic, we needed that as well. So we'll go ahead and duplicate that. I think it's interesting how picky these things are. Although this hasn't been too bad. I mean, it's to be expected, right? Okay. And then we'll eject that. Come back over. Plug that back in. Plug her back in and cross our fingers. And hope that that works. There it is. Okay, so there we go. Looks like it lost. Oh, yeah, because we changed things on there. So there we go. When it says do not edit and points you to 2 other files, perhaps put that setting in one of those. Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay, let's just see if well, I did not put the drive. Oh, yeah. Did I put the drive files in there? I did, right? So let's go ahead and pick a drive. Drives. And change ROM. And we want the, oh, there you go. So you can see those. So it's the 1541. Let's choose that one. And let's see, it's in the drives. And this one right here. Okay. And let's go ahead and try it again. So we'll go here. We'll go to disks. I don't really need the, well, and if it works, I do. Let's see. Let's go to here. And let's do a fistful. No, I want to do ace of aces. I really want that to work. Upstream machines.txt does say audio out can go in there, though it has separate settings for each mode seemingly. Oh man, I'll have to take a look at that. And I'm still not hearing sounds, and it looks like this still is not loading. So I'm having some kind of problems with the disk loading issue. I'm going to figure that out. I have to imagine, turn warp off. Let's try it again. I'm not even getting an indicator on 8, which is bothersome for me. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So I've got some work to do. And I will do, so we're in C64 PAL, 50 hertz HDMI, probably C64 PAL. Oh. Yeah, how do I get out of there? It is in 50 hertz HDMI mode. That's a good question, Lone Tech. Does that need to be changed to 60? Oh, don't know. This is where it gets confusing, right? I think I've got some work to do. Here's change ROM here, though. This is what we were using before. This is what was recommended. But we didn't really have a lot of luck with that. Okay, I think, yeah, let me go ahead and save, settings saved. I think because we're not having a lot of luck, let me check video here. Yeah, you can see we have our color palettes now. That's nice. So we can make those, since I dropped all those in there. That's pretty good. There's that that weird one that we just saw. Yeah, that's good. I like that we have our color palettes now. I kind of like that one. I like this one. Let's stick with that one. Oops. That's a little easier on our eyes for this. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now we may have lost our settings too for our sound. Let's see, that was under preferences. Let's see. Nope, that's still on. Okay, so that's on. Status bar. Oh, that's right, because the status bar is on. So that would confirm reset for emulator on. Look for warp mode is, let's go ahead and turn that off. Save settings. Okay. Let's see. Oh, did you hear that? I'm hearing a drive. We have drive. Oh my goodness. Wait, it is. I'm shouting at the screen. Oh wait, Sarah, what are we shouting? What are we doing? When it says do not edit and points you to 2 other files, perhaps put the setting in that one. So we've got sound now, which is good. It's loading. You can hear that. So we're in PAL. Okay, we did that. Okay, let me know if you can hear the, oh, you do hear it. Okay, thanks, Lone Tech. So that tells me that we've got sound. For whatever reason, sound has kicked on. I don't know how long it would take for this game to load, and it seems like number 8 would be flashing for us. Now, I could go to warp, but I'm afraid it would break it. What do you guys want to do? You guys want to wait and see if this works? You're a broken Floyd. I'm not sure I understand what that means, Marson. You're a broken Floyd. What does that mean? Confused. Anyway, this looks good. Oh, wait, it's working. Guys, it's working. This is good. Okay, we're gonna let it do its thing. I'm not gonna put it in warp mode. We're gonna hang on to it. Oh, I don't know, Mr. Landfill. If we warp, I'm afraid it's gonna. Oh man! I am so happy. Look at us. So we got it working. Way to go, team. We figured it out. We can. So that is pretty cool. Now, let's see if we can play the game. Now, we do know that I don't think I can use... Oh, it did work. Just a button press. We didn't need spacebar. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can get into the game. So I remember this game. Okay, run stop. So I'm going to have to bring up the keyboard for run stop. So let's do that. So where is run stop? Run stop right there. Okay. Yeah, that virtual keyboard is not bad. Granted. Okay, now it's loading. Okay, let's let it go. This is so cool. Now, I will tell you guys this. What I have done is I have recorded this portion where we got this working. I may go ahead and crunch all this down into a video. As a matter of fact, if I get some time, I will. I will crunch this all down into a video that gets rid of all of the excess. And I'll link to the live stream for people who want to watch it live, but we'll show kind of the progress. Once we do that, this should be like a 10 or 15 minute video. So that's the hope. High score or trainers? Let's do T for trainers, I guess. Can't damage your plane. Yes. Pilot can't get shot. Well, of course. Unlimited fuel? Why not? Unlimited cannons? You bet. Yes, absolutely. Unlimited bombs? Back at you. Load. Let's reset. Let's reset the high scores. All right. So the virtual keyboard. Nice. The virtual keyboard is this button right here. So whenever I hit that, then that brings up the virtual key. Or I hit the wrong one. I did. I hit the wrong one. Let me get out of there. Whenever I hit this button right here, I get the virtual keyboard. And wherever I hit the middle one, that's where I get the menu. All right, let's see if we can play Ace of Aces. I'm trying. Nothing's loading it. F1, let's see. Run stop, doesn't do it. Let's see if F1 does it. It's not F1, not F2, not F3, not F7. Not return. And not spacebar. How do I load this game? Oh no. Oh, you know what I just did? I reset. I hit a reset. This button right here is evidently reset and I accidentally hit it. All right. Well, there you go, folks. Yeah. Let me, we'll close it. I think we've done enough. We got it going. We didn't get a chance to play a game, but I might see if I can get that going. So anyway, wow, what a day. We spent much longer than I anticipated, 2.5 hours. I need to get out of here. I've got somewhere I need to be, but I do want to just check in on chat real quickly and see who's left. Let's see, how many of you hung in here today? Wow, we had 32 of you hang in here. Thanks for joining me on a Sunday afternoon. I really enjoyed it. Again, I wasn't even anticipating doing a stream, but I think we did very much learn a lot about bare metal Commodore, and I think it's fun. I think there could be some better documentation out there. Maybe I need to work on that. But with some good documentation, this is a fun little device to have, and in some ways would be a better addition to your kind of family game day than like a VC64 Mini. I think I prefer this over a VC64 Mini once you get it configured, because you can play more games, you have more options. It's really cool. I really like it. So again, thank you Tech Dungeon for producing that and having that available. I do wish they would just go ahead and throw on the ROMs and configure it for first boot. I get it. Again, maybe they're just concerned that Commodore will come after them, but maybe they can work something out with the new Commodore that will allow them to do that and make those just a fun little device out of the box. Yeah, it is. Guys, this is really just, again, a fun little device, and well done. They need a little label right here though, with Tech Dungeon and maybe a serial number. That could be fun too. But remember, you do need micro USB for power and mini HDMI for video. Okay, so, and then again, for joysticks, not USB, you're going to break out something like the Hyperkin joystick or the Atari CX40 Plus, and you can use your traditional old school joysticks, which is why that is also better than a VC64 Mini. Why they don't include that, I'll never know. So very cool little device. Love it. Have to start looking at a keyboard with that too. All right. So thank you for joining me in that little look at the bare metal Commodore. So appreciate that. All right, let's see. Let's take a look in chat here. What is the drive set type to select the same ROM? What is the drive type set to same as the ROM you selected? Yeah, I should probably document exactly what I have done here. If I get a chance, maybe I'll put some of that information in the next, the edited version. If I get a chance, if I even get to that. I shouldn't promise you that because I'm not sure I'm gonna have time to do it. I got so many other videos I want to get done. That is kind of a grab and go video though that I can take, because what I can do is download this video, take it while I'm traveling, and do some editing on my laptop. So maybe I can get that one done. Would expect the drive type to be under drive 8. Yeah, probably right. I probably needed to look at that. I'm shouting at the screen. Hey, we got it working though. You've broken the Floyd. Oh, yeah, I see what you, okay. I expect some seek sounds, not just spin. That's what I was thinking. I was expecting, you know, kind of that type of thing, but didn't get it. Did you load a ROM from another drive? Oh, we already talked about that one. Heard about the heard that. Yep, good. We can hear the sound. Yep. I'm still not clear on why the sound started working. I am not either. But I did put that one setting, that audio _out, into the command.txt. That's the only thing that was really changed. So I'm wondering if a combination of that and something else pinged it. I bet though it did need that line. So Lone Tech, I think since you sent that to me, that's probably what happened. My guess about the sound is because warp mode disables sound. Warp mode does disable sound. This is true, but it doesn't disable sound on the game. Well, it would, but the game was never loading under warp mode. So there's that issue. So some things for us to think about. But you're right. When warp mode is on, you do not get the drive sounds. However, we had it a couple of times without, and we had a game loaded and we didn't have sound. Remember we had pinball loaded and we didn't have sound? I wonder if sound's working on pinball now. Probably. Also, what would audio and warp mode even sound like? Yeah, something like that probably. Probably not like that. More because sped up sound doesn't make much sense. Absolutely. Disc stepping would give a bit of info. Yep. Yeah, it was kind of cool. I agree, Picris. That was very cool. It was a lot of fun. I love digging into little projects like these and learning more. I'm much smarter about this device than I have been. And I am glad that I bought the prepackaged kit as opposed to try and do all this myself, because then I would have had to go through all the preparing the SD card and everything. And again, Tech Dungeon does that for you. Yeah, good job. Thank you. I'm going to put a star up on my refrigerator today. Glad it worked in the end. Me too. I love stuff like this. I do too, especially when you're failing, and then it's a win. And that's typically, for those of you new to the live stream, this is pretty much par for the course. We'll pick something. I will give it a shot. I need a drink. Hold on. And along the way, it's not going to work. And then along with all you retrocombians in chat, we just troubleshoot and iterate until the thing works. And almost always we get the thing working. And it's because there are much smarter people in chat than the guy hosting this live stream. And so again, we were fortunate to have an electrical engineer with us today. It is an interesting little device. I need a way to connect it. It needs a way, you can connect a keyboard. You have one extra USB. So what you can do here is you can get one of those USB, well, you can get a conversion for it, and you can go dongle to dongle. Now what I need to figure out, well, I guess it wouldn't be supported. This is a 2W in here, which means it has Wi-Fi support. And there's Bluetooth, I think, but I don't think it's activated with the bare metal. Now, if bare metal could figure out how to connect to Bluetooth, that would be kind of cool. Neat. Thanks for letting us see it. You're very welcome. I enjoyed having you all, and Lone Tech rather. Appreciate you helping through this. Enjoyed it. Take care, y'all. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it. I'm sure you were in and out. This was a long one. Apologies for taking up your Sunday. Nifty device. Portability is great. Emulation has evolved quite a bit. I prefer FPGA-based stuff, as you know. Yes, but I will say, bare metal is as close to FPGA as you're going to get on a Raspberry Pi. So it's much better than emulating Vice while you're running Debian, Raspbian, so to speak, on your device. So I love that. I love boot is like that, which is really cool. I think that I have to put it up. That may boot. No, Mega 65 still boots faster. Yeah. Second USB port. Well, yes, that's it. The OTG adapter. Thank you. Should allow keyboard. Yes, and perhaps BMC doesn't have. They say on the website that you can plug in an external keyboard. So they do have it. Maybe there's something I have to set again. I think Commodore is working with the little guys out there. No tyrant stuff yet from them. I would hope not, because we are the ones making them right now. All of us that are funding their little computer, the Ultimate. Should be possible to add a keyboard. Yeah, I've got an OTG adapter in there. I'll give that a shot. Can use a real Commodore keyboard and joysticks via PCB. Yes, you can. That's right. I've forgotten about that. And there is there's actually a device too, a key something that you can plug into the GPIOs and then plug in a real keyboard. This would make a really cool little guy to replace a motherboard that's not working in a C64 case, or a plus 4 case, which I have over there. That could be interesting. Oh, I do. I have a plus 4 case. This could become the new guts for my plus 4 that doesn't have a motherboard. And I get real joystick ports. I have to think about that. That could be really interesting. And if I could do something with these buttons in some way to make them accessible, I may have to think about that. That could be kind of cool. README says use USB keyboards and 3 other kinds supported. 3 other kinds? USB keyboards and 3 other kinds? 3 other kinds of what? Other keyboards? Is that a pet behind? Yes, this is. This is my pet right here. Actually purchased this at Vintage Computer Festival of Midwest 2022. 1, 2, 2, 2. Love it. It's great. Got a little... it's got this little magnet that Jamie, or no, maybe Jamie didn't put that one together. That may be somebody else. That's not original. That's just a magnet that's on there. So that just showing you that it's metal. But yes, love my pet. And I've got a TRS 80 Model 4. Yeah, Model 4 that works, but I'm got to try and find time to shove a drive into it all those times. It's just not enough time. It is real deal. There you go. Thank you for another fine, educational, entertaining stream, Mr. K. You are very welcome. No brew info, which we gotta get these. You guys gotta get your handles fixed. Okay. I don't remember who everybody is. It's a stretch for me to remember you from week to week. Good idea. Yeah. If you need any parts, let me know. We'll do. All right. That is it, folks. I want to thank everybody again for joining. Remember, if you want to become a member of the channel, go down there and join. And remember, the perk is, for one of them at least, is you get an opportunity to join in the Discord where we just kind of carry on the conversation. I will tell you, the guys in the Discord will learn a lot more about my experiences with this than anybody else, because that's where I go in and I talk about it and I say, here's what's happened since the live stream. A lot of times that's where I'll share configuration, all that kind of stuff. So all that kind of stuff happens in there, but there's other smarter people in the Discord than me too. So if you have a chance to join, you can do that. Again, it's just down there, hit join. And then when you join, if you join, you'll have access to a members only comment area on my channel. When you get that, then you'll get the invite for the Discord. We'll see you pop in and then we'll just celebrate. We'll have a big celebration when you join. So it's a lot of fun and I appreciate it. If you decide not to join, I do hope that I see you at the next live stream though. I do occasionally do prepared videos as well. And I do have a couple of things on the plate that I'm working on, a couple of things with the Mega 65 still going. I also have been distracted, and I'm not going to lie, with my other channel, Retrocombs-Tech, where I'm stuck on these Android TV boxes. And I just posted a new video today on the Gitron 12-in-1 desktop charging hub, which is actually really cool. I like it and would be great for retro computer stuff too, especially for powering little things like this on your desk. So if you're interested in kind of the tech that I use, not retro tech, but newer tech, it's over there. And some of it is stuff that people just sent me and I say, yeah, I'll take a look at it. So I do to get distracted. But what happens is I take the revenue that I'm earning over there and I bring it over to the part that's the most fun, which is the retro stuff. So it is that channel is actually really helping this channel because it's bringing a lot more funds in to help fund the stuff that I kind of like to do where I don't have a lot of growth. So there you go. I've explained everything, I think, ad nauseum. That's it for me. Retro Combs out. See you guys at the next live stream, probably in 2 weeks. Happy Halloween, by the way, to all of you. And sorry I won't have a Halloween live stream, but be on the lookout. I may do a little something special for you guys, just for my followers on Halloween. All right. Okay. Appreciate you guys being here. See you later. Oh, and I'll be in the chat for just a few more minutes.